price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Black first, my brothers and my sisters, welcome to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. I am your host, Afro Elite. Please make sure that you guys, as you're coming in, hit that like button because this is about to be a very important broadcast. We're doing a very special one. We normally don't go live Sunday, but we definitely have to do this. I couldn't wait. I couldn't put it off. I had to do it. By now, I'm sure everybody has seen everybody's most disliked president, the number one tether, the number one mulatto anchor baby tether, Obama, out here criticizing, shaming, reprimanding, bashing, lecturing, bullying black men for not doing what he wants us to do. Again, this is his another endorsement, because to be very honest, Obama's endorsements tend to not work out for him, to be very, very honest. His endorsements don't work out for him. And Obama was very upset about this. Obama was very frustrated about this. So he does what he tends to do, is he goes to black men specifically and talks to us as if we've been disobedient children, as if we've been bad, like thugs, like, you know how Obama likes to call us thugs. So he talked to us as if he was like a judge or a parole officer talking to a bunch of bad children who might get on probation or something like that, like scolding us, giving us a good life lesson as to why he's disappointed in us and how we needed to support Kamala. So we're going to play this clip because I got to go through the whole thing. But before we do, we got to make sure we protect the channel. So as you guys are hitting this like button, I'm going to be doing this. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right, so this was Obama. And this was in Pittsburgh. This was, I believe, before. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. This was before he went and did his rally speech. Okay.
We have not yet seen.
And so, you know, I sped it up just a little bit.
The same.
And raise the volume because there's a lot of background noise.
Kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
I'm sorry. That just bothered me how he said, with the brothers. With the brothers. He sounds like a white person who's trying to be hip. Lord, okay. He just sounds so out of place saying that.
So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly. And say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences.
Here's and I gotta, because we really gotta chop this down. Okay, we got a lot of people in here, not even 5 minutes. Y'all make sure y'all be heavy in this algorithm. We need a lot of participation. Okay, we gotta be hyped. Okay, this is very, very important, and I'm gonna explain to you why this is important later on. So make sure you guys stay tuned. But let me just talk about what he just said. He's talking about she went to college with us. She didn't go to college with me. Okay, she went to a HBCU. That doesn't matter. So what? That literally does not matter. She went to a HBCU. Every black person doesn't go to a HBCU, and you going to the HBCU doesn't mean anything. Then he talks. Notice he doesn't use she can relate to being a black person. He said she went to college with us, and then she can kind of you know, understand the pain and the joy and everything that goes with that. Notice he does not say that goes with being a black person. No, he doesn't say that. He doesn't say anything about her blackness at all. He doesn't say, well, you know, someone who also experienced the struggles of growing up as a black woman in America, or growing. He didn't even say people of color, a person of color in America. He doesn't say that. The experience of what? College? The joys and the experience of hardships of, because the only thing he said that makes her somewhat relatable is college. Trump went to college too. There's a whole bunch of people who went to college, so we're supposed to relate with her because of college, not blackness. No, I just want you to notice, off rip, he doesn't say anything about her blackness. We got over 100 people in here, not like about 5 minutes. We got it. We's gonna be popping tonight. We got to get a lot of participation.
Was had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land.
I gotta highlight this again. Obama is trying not to say anything about her blackness specifically. I gotta take it back because we gotta dice it up. He says, and overcome. He doesn't say overcome racism. Just keep this in mind. Now, he's lecturing us as if we're supposed to be able to relate to her and have some type of sympathy with her or anything. Overcome. And then this is like awkward pause. Like, oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. He knows not to, like, overcome what? What is she over? She overcame what? Because everybody's overcome things. He's overcome things. Trump has overcome things. Kamala's overcome things. What specifically has she overcame that we should be relating to, that should connect with us? Notice he doesn't say overcame racism or discrimination or anything. Just overcomes and then kind of like stops himself. Just notice that.
And do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land, and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that would in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing to making sure that our mothers, fathers, and grandparents can afford medicine, and making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high, rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act. So everybody's got to help it. And cares about things like education.
Now, why is not everybody supposed? Because the Affordable Care Act is not a black specific thing, nor is the prescription drugs. Those are not black specific things. Now he's making it seem, he's literally out here making it seem as if these are some black specific things. Mind you, and we're going to play, we got some clips we got to play because we got to give a good reminder to people. Remember, she specifically said no to anything specific for black people, to the idea of pushing anything for black people. She said, what y'all going to get is something everybody get. I'm not doing nothing for y'all in particular. That is what she said. That's not taken out of context. Now he's going to be, and your grandparents, prescription drugs. Well, you know, maybe my grandparents don't have diabetes. Okay. And first off, she's not doing anything to address housing. Housing has been an issue, and the housing has gotten worse under the Biden-Harris administration. Housing has gotten much worse under that. With her housing plan, with the way she's allowing all of these illegal immigrants to come over here, she's talking about building 3 million houses after she let 20 million people come over here. Who do you think most of those houses are going to go to? Especially if this is specifically supposed to be a little bit of money for for first-time home owners. For first-time homeowners, this is going to be a little bit of money. $25,000, which depending on where you live is not even enough for the down payment for the mortgage for the house. No, it's not even enough. and then this first-time homeowners, which means this is going to primarily benefit these illegals that they're allowing to come over here. And this doesn't fix the problem, even if you did build all these houses. Notice he also talks about in lowering the prices. That's interesting because she said that the prices were good, that Bidenomics was working and the economy was fine. That's what they keep saying. Let's continue. Come on. We got so much to cover.
Entrepreneurship in our neighborhood. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting out. But, you know, and you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that because
I'm gonna be honest. The fact that he feels like he has the he has a lot of nerve. I can't even put the words out. That he has a lot of nerve to tell us to cross his arms as if he's some type of authority, like he's some type of father figure, and then look around and be all like, I have a problem. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. Not that we have a problem. Now we need to. I have a problem with that, as if we've been some bad children. And then, oh, look at it gets worse. It's somebody saying low volume. Is the volume low? Oh, okay. I'm not sure why that was going on. We're almost done playing that clip. I'm not really sure what was going on about that, but just bear with me. Can you guys hear me? Oh, okay. We're just gonna continue. It's low. Not for me. Okay. Volume's good. Okay, let me say something.
makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as husband. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for it. And I think
okay, I see what you guys mean. I see what you guys mean. So what we're gonna do is we're actually going to just play this off of you. I didn't want to do this. I didn't really want to play it off YouTube, but we're just gonna play it off YouTube because they already started. There's no reason the volume should be iffy or anything like that whatsoever. But that's fine. That comes with the territory. That happens to us all the time. Not all the time, but it happens more than enough for us to know how to handle it. Okay. Happens more than enough for us to know how to handle this. So we're going to share it. Here we go. Okay. All right. And bam, there we go.
prices that are too high, and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act. So everybody's got help here, and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting out? I'm not. But, you know, because of Pookie might be. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that.
No, I want you guys to notice his body language while he's saying all this stuff. The fact that he said excuses, reasons and excuses, you make excuses to not do something that you're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be voting for anybody. They're supposed to be doing stuff to try to encourage us to vote. So the fact that he's all like, we're making excuses, like we're supposed to be doing something and we're trying to make something up. Like, what? Yeah, you guys are making up a bunch of excuses. No, this excuses as if we're trying to get out of doing chores, or we're trying to get out of doing homework or something like that. We're trying to get out of work. We're making an excuse. Like this is something we're supposed to be doing, and we're not. I want you to understand. He's talking to grown men, talking about how he has a problem with us making excuses for not voting for her. As if we have an arrangement or a deal and we're trying to back out the deal. That's what he's making it seem like.
Because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that.
Now, this is something that as the community, we're going to have to get ahead of immediately. Nobody is sitting up there like, as black men, especially foundational black American men, we are not sitting up here being all like, you know what, she's great in every aspect except the fact that she is a female, and I just can't, I don't want to be led by a female. I can't see that happening. That's not the reason at all. What they're doing is they're trying to say, well, this is really a gaslighting tactic. This is really a straw man thing. This is because you guys are males and you guys are very insecure. That's really, your feelings are just you're too emotional. This is gaslighting the men and making this all of the reasons. Okay, you're gonna dismiss that and say, you know what? I know you guys gave me at least about a list of 10 good reasons, solid reasons why you're not supporting her. And I want you to keep this in mind. Let me get this off the screen because I really want to resonate with you guys when I say this. Let me tell you, I want you to understand this is more than just about Harris. This is about the entire Democratic Party as a whole. It's not like our loyalty for the Democratic Party has stayed stagnant or even grown. And then all of a sudden, here comes Harris running for office, and now we don't really want to back her. No, our commitment, especially the younger black voters, male and female, our commitment to the Democratic Party has been decreasing and decreasing and decreasing for years now. So this is not no particular thing when it comes to Kamala because she's a woman, because you've seen the same thing with men as well too. There was a lot of reluctance when it comes to Biden was running. And what's very interesting is that when Biden was running just a few months ago, earlier this year, Biden had a lower black support base than what Kamala has right now. Harris has more black support than what Biden had before he dropped out. So are you going to say it was misogyny and sexism why black people didn't want to vote for Biden? Why black people didn't want to back Biden? See, this is what they do. They'll say, okay, well, black people have a legitimate reason if they don't want to back a male Democrat. And then if it's a female Democrat, then that's only because she's a female. There is no other reason at all because she is a female. Now, why you can't say that, because you would then have to explain, it would only make sense is if we had the same amount of support for you and then Biden, and then it dropped when it came to every female, but we don't. There was, in statistics back this, I don't mess with none of them, but statistics back up the fact that there's more black support for Harris than it was for Biden. So that completely debunks any argument that this is some type of sexual or sexism or misogyny, which is what they're going to try to push. And we're going to explain why they're trying to push this. Okay, let's finish this clip though.
And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time. They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting.
First off, it's a couple of things. It's a couple of things. First of all, Kamala is not black. She's not, and I will say that for the rest of my life. She's not. Okay, she's not. And the little black grandma that you guys were saying is black, that y'all saw the picture of, that's not even real. So allegedly, the evidence is pointing to her grandma being like a mulatto at best. So she got maybe like 15 to 10% black in her. But regardless of that, she doesn't have. It's not like when he wants us to relate to our mothers raised us and they looked after us, and all of the black women in our lives that's looked after us as black men, such as our mothers, our aunties, our grandmothers, even maybe older sisters or older cousins, you know, that's not Kamala at all. She's not anywhere in that picture at all. She doesn't have any children. She didn't marry a black man. She doesn't have any younger black brothers. She's not like an older sister to black men. She doesn't have any black nieces or nephews, and she's the auntie or anything like that. She doesn't have this black woman protection quality that he's talking about. He's making it seem like black women remember, they've always had our back. She's been the opposite of that. Come on, we got to really go back in time and remember the fact that she was one of the ones locking black women up when their children had to miss school because of medical reasons. Cherie Peebles, her daughter, because she had sickle cell, had to miss school. And I'm giving you the name so you can look it up and remember. And this was when she was the district attorney. She was the one who pushed this thing, and she pushed it when she was the attorney general about truancy laws. Cherie Peebles has been on the internet on several occasions talking about this. It's been documented. All right. She's been locking up the black women he is referring to right now. The black women who sacrifice, who leave work to pick you up from school, to take you to the hospital, and care for you when you're sick, and make your soup, and fix your bed up and everything, wash your clothes and pay the bills so you can be taken care of. The same exact black women he is referring to right now, Kamala was locking her up. She has no connection to him at all. As a matter of fact, she is the enemy of the women that he is referring to right now. She is nothing whatsoever like what he's referring to. And then I got to take it back a little bit, because he says something that I found very offensive when he said this. Look at this. Let me make this bigger for you guys.
They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting.
He said, when we get in trouble and the system is not working for us, they're the ones out there marching and protesting. First off, I don't like the whole they're the ones out there. They're the ones, as if black men and black women are not protesting. I've not seen a single protest where black women are present and black men are absent. That has to do with like Black Lives, where you see black women are present and there's no black. I have not seen that. Nobody can find a single protest where a black person has been killed by the police or anything, where black men are just not there. That's number one. Number two, he's talking about when the system has failed us. Obama is the reason. He's sitting up there like the system has failed us all, like he can relate. This man was the president for 8 whole years. Guys, let me ask you guys a question for the chat room, when did Black Lives Matter start? When did the movement of Black Lives Matter start? Who was the president when Black Lives Matter, the whole movement, started? Not the organization or whatever, and I'm not trying to vouch for the organization. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about the movement. I'm talking about the hold on, hands up, don't shoot, the taking the knee for the national anthem and everything like that, the marching in the street, I Can't Breathe, the original I Can't Breathe with Eric Gardner before George Floyd. I'm talking about all of that. That started under Obama. While he's talking about the black women are out there when the system fails us, they fail because of his ass. Because we backed his tether ass up. We decided to put him in office. He was the one who was supposed to be in there to take care of the system. And now he wants to come out here and be all like, yeah, and they march when the system's messed up. He was the one supposed to be doing something. I really got to say that he was the one supposed to be doing something with the system to fix the system. The whole all of that and I'm talking about from the very beginning with Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland, Eric Gardner, Freddie Gray, I'm talking about all of them. Philando Castile, Laquan McDonald, all of these, and I can go on and on and on and on. I literally can go on and on and on, and ain't none of them did none of them. None of them were punished, and this was under his watch. While he's sitting up there talking about, yeah, well, when the system's not working out for us, and you have black women. Black women shouldn't be doing that because his ass was supposed to fix the system. His ass was supposed to be all like, the police are not supposed to be doing this. When they're not working out for us, that's his fault. When he said when the system's not working out, that's Obama's fault. And remember, before he left, he signed a Blue Lives Matter law to protect the police. A blue alert law, to be very specific, because I know people are going to go Google it. It's a blue alert law that he signed before he left for his second term. So the whole system is his fault. And then she's not doing anything to change the system either. Let me ask you a question. Since we're talking about the system and police and stuff like that, her whole campaign, she started running when Biden dropped out, which was like late June, right? Do you guys remember, or have you guys seen, because I haven't, maybe I'm wrong, have you guys seen Harris say anything about police at all? Has she said anything about qualified immunity at all? Has she said anything about police oversight? But even some BS bias training. Has she said any of that stuff at all? No, she has not said none of that whatsoever. She hasn't mentioned the police in a negative way since she started running. She hasn't mentioned the police. She hasn't mentioned doing any type of constructive justice or any type of racial bias training or sensitivity training or any type of training. She hasn't mentioned none of that. While he's talking about they're the ones who defend us when the system's messed up. No. I think, to me, that was one of the most disrespectful things he said in that thing, talking about the system that he allowed to target and kill us.
And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's
who has a history of denigrating you as he's currently denigrating those people. He's currently denigrating the people. He's saying we shouldn't even consider voting for Trump because he denigrates us.
Strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down.
Okay. And I also want to say this too. First off, I gotta look at his body language. Look at his body language, how he's looking. He looks upset, like a pissed off parent. with one arm crossed and one thing on his mouth, like he's really telling us about ourselves for real right now. That's really what he thinks he's doing. He's really telling us about ourselves and how wrong we really are. That's what he's really doing. Okay. He says putting women down. So literally not supporting her because she's a woman is putting her down. So either she gets automatic support because she was born a female, or we're putting her down. So by saying that she doesn't get an automatic qualification and she has to meet the same standards a man is going to have to meet, that's putting a woman down. Okay. And then notice too how he questions our masculinity as black men. He said, because you think that's what being a man is? That's what being a man is? So we're wrong. I want you to understand, we're wrong about what being a man is, according to him. He said, so that's what being a man is, putting a woman down? That's what you guys think being a man? So he's not only is he saying that we're wrong in the decision, he's saying that we're not supporting her because she's a woman, and we have the wrong, as black men, we have the wrong idea of what being a man is.
Yes. Putting women down? That's not acceptable. That's not it. This shouldn't even be a question.
He said that's not acceptable, and this shouldn't even be a question. Okay. Gonna get this off the screen. Lord have mercy. Okay. Do you listen? Lord, okay. The fact that he still feels that he has the authority, and this is not the first time either. This is not the first time, and I'm gonna tell you right now, this has a terrible backlash. This is going to have a terrible backlash. This is the most extreme, and this is the mindset of he's not just a tether. I want you guys to understand that. He's like a mulatto tether anchor baby. He's like a mix of everything bad. Every bad, like, because you already know how the anchor baby's going to think. You already know how the mulattoes, they kind of all over the place. You already know how the tether's going to think. So he's just a combination of everything bad. I'm trying to be clean with my language here, okay? And let me say something else. Because what the media is trying to do is they're trying to back this thing up to being seem like, oh look, this is sexism. Obama call out to black men touches a nerve among Democrats. Is election year misogyny at play? Now let me ask you a question. It's not. First off, before it's not. Now, do you all remember when Kamala first started and Biden dropped out and they had that thing? It was like 40. Some reports said 44,000. Other reports said 40,000, 43,000, around that. So just for the sake of the argument, I'm going to say we know at least all of the reports consistently say at the very least 43,000. Some say 43, 42. So whether you highball it or lowball it, about 14,000 black women first day one, within a couple hours. Then day two, they had another one and they claimed it was 50,000+ black men. Remember that? And I said from the very beginning, that's a lie. I said from the very beginning, I don't believe that. I'm going to show you. Hold on. I'm going to show you. If you guys don't remember, I remember saying it. I'm like, you know what? I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. Hold on. Let me pull this up real quick. Remember? Hold on. This bank, she's talking about minorities. She's talking about people of color. She's talking about community lenders giving to black and Latino and disenfranchised rural communities. Kamala Harris ain't got no pro-black support, and I don't think she has the black support that anybody's claiming she do. Until you show me actual people showing up to support her, I'm not going to believe it. Y'all having Zoom calls with tens of thousands of people, record-breaking Zooms. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe it. Even if it was in and out, I don't believe it. I don't believe that. I don't. Y'all can't convince me, and y'all can't prove that. Y'all can't convince me anything. Remember? Do you guys remember? No. And and that's just one of the clips. I said from day one, I said no. I said, y'all, I swear, I wish you guys would have seen my face, my facial expressions when I first read that. When I first read something about some 40, at first I'm all like, you know what? 100 people on a Zoom call, even though Zooms are not meant to host 100 people like that, you know what I'm saying? It's really not, but okay. 100 people, I could have got that. A few hundred people, I'm like, yeah, well, I guess they do have advanced servers and technology and stuff like that. 1,000 people, if they said 1,000 people joined the Zoom, I would have been like, I don't know. It seemed like kind of a stretch. I don't know if they could have pulled that off. They said, we're not going to say 1,000 people. We're going to say 40,000 people, not 40,000 people got on the Zoom call in 2 hours. I said, really? I said, do you think anybody here was born yesterday? Do you think anybody here is this delusional to believe that you all have this much black support out of nowhere? I'm talking about they had these people on a Zoom call and the news was still breaking that Biden dropped out. Everybody was just figuring out that Biden dropped out, and there's already this Zoom call with tens of thousands. I said no. I said cap. No, that didn't happen. No. Black people do not back her like that. Also, that was black women. Then the next day, black men. I said no. I said black people do not support her like that. Now let's go back. Let's go back to the whole thing with Obama sitting up there trying to chastise black men. Now he's out here upset at black men, upset at the lack of support, saying that that's not acceptable. He's upset. He doesn't like it. He's upset. Now, let me ask you a question, because we're critical thinkers here. We're critical thinkers. If she had that much support, where did it go? If she really had that much support, let's really put our thinking caps on for a second, because I've been saying this since day one. I think I was the first person, if not the only person, to say, I think that that's cap. And now we're seeing you had tens of thousands from day one. And then you was all like, oh my God, she's breaking all of these records and black people are loving her. And she's swinging all of the swing states to her side. And this is amazing. And we've never seen it. They've been praising her. You've been seeing all of the media being all like, oh my God, she's so great. She's so phenomenal. The records are so high. Everybody loves her so much. The way Obama was sitting up there talking, Obama is sitting up there talking like they're about to lose. Obama is talking to these black men as if he's frustrated. And I said this on Twitter or X, whatever you call it. I said, a few months ago, they claimed Kamala had tens of thousands of black men on a Zoom supporting her. And this was a few months ago. The way Obama was talking, you got to ask, what happened to all that black support you said she had? You really got to ask that question. They literally said there's been no black support. Like they said, they were making it seem like she was the second coming of Obama with all of the black support. Oh my God, almost 100% black support. We've never seen anything like that. They was damn near falling out their chairs. Oh my God, this is amazing. She's going to win by a landslide. Obama is sitting up there acting as if they're losing. Now that's interesting. Because until now, you guys said that she had overwhelming black support. Until now, you guys were making it seem like she was winning by a landslide. Let me ask you a question. If you guys, for any of you guys who play sports, right? Let's use basketball for an example. You're in the last about 10 minutes of the game, and your team is up by 100 points. You have 100-point lead above the other team. Is your coach going to be snapping off on you or other players? No. Your coach is going to be laid back with a drink in his hand. Your coach going to be chill. Everybody going to be chilling. It's going to be smooth sailing. We're just going to play these last 10 minutes out. There's nothing that they can do to catch up. That's what you would do if you're winning like that, right? If you get 100 points over the other players, it's smooth sailing. 10 minutes left, 100 points. Ain't nothing to worry about. The way Obama was talking, he's sitting up there with his hands crossed with things like this. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, why? Oh, I could tell Obama was trying not to, but the way Obama was like, he almost at a loss of words. He wanted to be like, y'all, damn, what the hell, y'all? Come on. Now, he messed up because he went a little bit too far with the misogyny and sexism thing. He went a little bit too far because Obama got carried away. He got carried away with the lecture. He was sent by the DNC to do that. Obama was sent, I want you to understand, he was deliberately sent by the DNC because that whole Magic Johnson thing didn't work. Nobody listened or cared. That didn't work. Obama was sent as a Hail Mary. I want you guys to understand, and we've said this on YouTube before, Obama hasn't really been around that much in her campaign. We saw him at the DNC. We ain't really seen him active like that since. We a couple of weeks damn near from the election, and now he wants to pop up. He had whole months to be around and campaigning and everything. Obama didn't want to do this for her. Obama is looking like somebody let them know it's inside job, not an inside job, inside information of the DNC. They was all like, hey, all hands on deck right now. We need all hands on deck. We got to get all of our star players. You know, when you lose in the game, you play in the game, you get all of your star players off the bench. You get your best shooter. I don't care how tired you are, your best shooter, your best defense, your best offense, your best everybody, all hands on deck right now. This is what Obama is. You don't throw a Hail Mary if you up by 3 touchdowns. That doesn't make any sense. You throw a Hail Mary when this is a last-ditch effort. Obama is a last-ditch effort, which is why he came out there in the first place. That's why he's so frustrated. You could tell by his facial expressions. I want you to notice when the guys started laughing, Obama didn't crack a smile at all. Obama didn't crack a smile. Obama seemed frustrated because he knows his legacy, his endorsement is going to die with her campaign. If he can't get her in the White House, the next time he comes out to support anybody, people are going to be like, Obama, you not no kingmaker, dude. Your word doesn't mean anything. This is Obama. His word is not going to mean anything if she doesn't win. That's why he is so frustrated right now. He wanted to literally grab somebody and shake him like, damn, come on. That's what he wanted to do. Now, what he was supposed to do was he was supposed to get out there and he was supposed to have this fatherly like coaching talk to the black men, and he was supposed to mention sexism or misogyny. He was supposed to be like, I mean, you guys can't consider black women. They love you. We love you. And you got to vote for Kamala. She's a black woman. You know, our mothers and sisters and grandmothers. And he was supposed to do all of that stuff, but Obama was mad. Obama took it a little bit too far from it. It went to a little like somewhat like authoritative lecture to more of a scolding and shaming thing because he's upset. I want you to understand, it was supposed to be a little bit of, he was supposed to mention sexism to kind of get that out there. And I'm going to explain why a little bit later, but we got to get some more clips so you can understand the context. But he went overboard. He was like, what the hell? He damn near wanted to say what the hell the whole time. And I'm letting you know this is because they never had any black support, and they are conceding to that now. They're admitting what I've said from the very beginning. Their black support was not genuine. It was not real, because even if they had that much, even if it didn't increase, if it stayed where it was when they said they had 50,000, they wouldn't be worried. They're worrying right now because they never had 50,000 black men on the Zoom call. They never had 44,000 black women on the Zoom call. I don't think they had 1,000 black people on the Zoom call, quite frankly. I don't think they had that much. They never had the black support that they were claiming that they had, which is why they had to pay influencers, which is why they had to create this stage thing where they got the background of the rallies kind of blurred out and in the dark and all that stuff. This is why, because they never had no black support. Not really. No, they didn't. And Obama was supposed to do that. He's also supposed to be planting the seeds for misogyny, okay? That way, because they feel like right now she's about to lose. So what they want to do is they want to start planting the seeds of she lost because of sexism. She lost because of misogyny. She lost because she's not because of her policies, of course not, because she's great. She's smart and she does interviews so well. She's so well spoken and articulate, don't you understand? But she's a female, so the males just don't want her to lead. That they're trying to plant the seeds for an excuse as to why she lost. That's another reason, all right? And we're going to really get into that because we're going to play some of these clips. This one was a panel on CNN where they was discussing Obama. We got a couple of these to discuss.
Is Obama in the wrong here with how he's talking about black men in particular and singling them out in this way?
Yeah, let's start from here. He is still the greatest living retail politician. He's objectively a top 15 president. But even he can swing and miss sometimes. And here he swung and missed. Here's what he did. Harris.
I don't know who this dude is. I don't know why his haircut, why he's trying to look like Vegeta from Dragon Ball. I don't know what this is about. I swear to God, I'm be honest. Anytime they get a light-skinned dude, the dude looks weird. The dude looks like he's like 50 years old, but he has a treehouse. Okay. Most of the dudes they get look weird, but especially when they get a light-skinned dude, the dude looks bizarre. Okay. The dude looked like a black person in a white cartoon.
Has been very strategic about when and how she's spoken about gender and race. And he stepped on that. And when she hasn't spoken about it, he stepped on that message. And I think also with those comments, and there's more to this, but let me just start with this, is that he forgets, at least in that moment, that she doesn't get the benefit of being a historic first the way he did. She's a historic first woman if she wins.
Maybe that's part of the problem. That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
Why doesn't she get the benefit?
Yeah, well, first of all, we have to remember that this is a thing. Like Barack Obama has a history of kind of chastising specifically black men, and like the question is whether what.
Now, before we get into that, the whole historic first thing, the reason why she doesn't get the benefit, because nobody cares. She would be a very historic first. She would be the first woman, the first Asian. She would be a historic first. But the thing is that nobody cares. Nobody cares at all about the first. Why we cared when Obama was running was not because he was a male. We cared because Obama, this is the first black person. This is the first person that is not white. He's going to get in there and he's going to look out for us. He's, the black faces in high places. This is the highest place a black face could possibly ever be. So we get him in here. He's going to look out for our community. This is why black people vouch for him so much. Because we just had the instinctive idea and implication that he was going to just do something. We just assumed, we had the instinctive assumption that he was going to do something, and we learned from that. This is why her being a historic first doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter if Michelle, I'm be honest, it doesn't matter if Michelle was running. She would be a historic first. She's actually really black and a woman. So she would be a historic first. It wouldn't even matter because we have learned from the first black man in office, the first black. We've learned from that now. We've been. Obama was the last first anything. I want you to keep that in mind. He was the last first, like, oh, we got our first. No, that don't matter. That don't matter. Because by him being in there for 8 whole years, damn near a decade, and not doing anything, the whole, oh, we got our first, nah, we done. Nah, we done. It don't matter. We learned from that.
He said is relevant, right? Because there are a few black men, like there are a few white men who are more conservative than black women, and more white men are conservative than white women. But the point is, does this work, right? And there's no evidence that it's true or that it works. And he doesn't do that with, like, you've never heard him say, why don't you white women stop being racist and vote for me or Kamala Harris, or they don't talk to Hispanic voters or LGBTQ voters. It's only specifically black men that he takes this. It doesn't work.
Why do you think that is?
Because you know why.
No,
Because
tell me.
the second most loyal, the most progressive group of men on the planet, they don't care about. They assume that they have their vote and they don't have to do anything for it. And the point of this is that if you don't vote for Kamala Harris and you're a black man, something must be wrong with you. That is the subtext of everything that they're saying.
Well, this is what I would say to this, because I was there when the NABJ interviewed Kamala Harris.
Then this guy comes. Then this guy comes. Okay. Yeah, somebody in Abby acts dumb. Abby be acting, she be saying the dumbest question. She be asking why is that? Why? I don't understand. Abby be acting clueless as hell. And they be having her on literally everything. Abby is literally damn near in every single major discussion, every single major panel, every single major stuff, and she don't be saying nothing smart at all. She doesn't. Come on now. Come on. What does Abby add to the conversation? She doesn't ask any articulate questions. She doesn't give an articulate perspective or a point of view. She doesn't really have data and all that stuff like that. I mean, she can pull it up with a board. And she's in every major conversation and then be acting every time the panel, literally, every time the panel is talking, she be acting like she don't know what nobody's talking about all the time. We got over 500 people in here. Let's take a small little break. I want to shout out our good brother Antithesis for the Cash App. Thank you so very much for everybody. That's $ Afro Elite 10 on Cash App. I appreciate you. Thank you so very much, brother. Let me shout out Tell It Like It Is for the super chat. Shout out to Tell It Like It Is. He says, for these people to be so educated, they're hella slow to learn. Oh yeah, they are. But they gonna learn. Appreciate you. They gonna learn. You want to learn the hard way or the easy way? You chose the hard way. It's the hard way. But you're gonna learn regardless. And then shout out to BG for the super sticker. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you, fam. Now let's continue.
In Philadelphia, and what Kamala Harris said then was that you asked that question with the assumption that black men are in somebody's pocket. You can't make that assumption. Black men are just like any other group. They have their interests, and I'm working to get their vote. I don't expect to get it because I am black. Right. I am working to get their vote, and that is what she said. And so I think we have to focus on what she said about black men, and I think we also have to focus on the fact that most black men are going to vote for Kamala Harris anyway. That is the reality. But I think that in talking to black people every day, which I do as a radio host, I've heard some black men say, I'm not voting for her because she is a woman. I have heard that. And I think that is reprehensible. Okay. I got to be honest.
Okay. This is why, and I literally got to stop it. Okay. As the foundational Black American community, we have to immediately, this is all of our assignment, me, hundreds of you all in the room listening live, and everybody who's going to listen to the playback of this, we immediately have to nip this whole thing in the bud, because what they are trying to do is they are trying to set the stepping stones for her loss, trying to set the stepping stones for an excuse to say, well, black men didn't want to support her because black men don't like black women. Black men just don't want to see a black woman in a position of power. Black men have mama issues. Black men, that's what they're going to do. The whole black men, I've seen, I've called in, black men have called in and specifically said they're not voting for her because she's a who? Seriously. No. If you got a radio show, you should be able to prove that. That should be recorded and broadcast. You should be able to prove this is several clips of black men calling in being all like, well, she's a woman, so no. And you can't, nobody, everybody's saying, I've heard this, I've heard nobody can prove that. And it really doesn't make any sense, because if black men really just didn't want a woman and we just don't like women at all, why does she have a higher rating than Biden did? You would think if because Biden's not a woman, you would think that if it's the fact that she's a woman as to why we're not supporting her, she would have a lower rating. And listen later on in the conversation, pay attention later on, they're going to admit that her black support among the men, her black male support has decreased. Did black men not know she was a woman before and then started to slowly learn she was a woman and then slowly started decreasing our support? That don't make sense. Let's continue.
Okay, so he's heard it. I mean, are we, when I say we, I mean the collective we as the country, afraid to just talk about a thing?
I think
is
you can
Obama
talk
saying,
about it, but if
he
you're
calling
calling
a thing
Barack
a thing?
Obama to fix a problem, you have to wonder if this fixes a problem.
Now, I also want to say this before we get too ahead. I also want to say this whole panel is also supposed to be controlled opposition. This whole panel is supposed to be discussing what Obama did wrong. They're supposed to be giving light criticisms of Obama. They're not supposed to be really giving heavy criticisms of Obama. Notice this whole panel, none of them are supposed to say what Obama said was wrong, straight out wrong. They're not supposed to say that. They're supposed to critique Obama's delivery, but they're also supposed to mention certain things about, well, I have heard black men say that they don't want to vote for her because she's a woman. So that is, sexism is a part of this. Misogyny is. They're also supposed to be adding some sort of validity to Obama's statement that black men don't want to support her because she's a woman. That's what they're also supposed to be doing. So I want you to keep this in mind. CNN is trying to do that because this is terrible on Obama and Harris's campaign. But CNN is trying to do damage control. So they're trying to act as if this is an open dialogue, kind of discussing and critiquing Obama. But you also have people in there that's supposed to be sharing their personal experience and giving validity to the fact that sexism is a play or a factor in this race, and it's not.
Problem. If I am interested in getting Kamala Harris elected, then I am upset because he hurt the thing, the strategy that she was employing to win.
Well, I think part of what has to happen, though, is that you have to have that conversation in private. There are some things you talk about in the barbershop when there's no cameras, right? There's some things that you talk about at home. There's some things that are family business. And I think the mistake that Barack Obama made was to take family business in the street.
I didn't have a problem
Let me let Coleman in there.
Obama's not family. Neither is Harris. None of those two are family whatsoever. None of them. Talk about take family business. No.
Voters is a terrible idea. It was bad when Hillary Clinton did it with deplorables. It was bad when Mitt Romney did it on the eve of the election. Even if there's a grain of truth to it and there's the occasional radio caller that's going to admit to that sentiment, let's actually look at the fact that Biden was struggling with black voters, and that was a topic of conversation over and over again. So it's not about sexism.
Hold on one second. Let me take a look at this. Let's take a look at the numbers, because I think just to see what we're talking about here. There's been a progressive decline in overall support among black men and, to a lesser degree, black women for the Democratic nominee. Biden was doing better among black men than Harris appears to be right now, based on some of the better polling that looks at these demographics. So,
okay, let's take this back and look at this. Let's really look at this. So this was 2000. I wish they had 2008 up here. That would determine a lot if they had 2008. Obama in 2008, but they don't. They had Obama in 2012, and then Clinton, Hillary Clinton, and then Biden, as far as the black men support. You can clearly see that it's been a pretty big decline in black men support for the longest time. It's almost about a 10%. I guess I would say this is a percent. It's almost a 10% drop off every time. From 79 to 69, that's a 10% drop off. From 69 to 60, that's a 9% drop off. Okay. And then from 60 to 52, that's an 8% drop off. So it's almost the same amount of black men are dropping off every time. Now, you can't say that this is sexism, because why did Hillary have a larger percentage in the exit poll than Biden? And this is among the women as well, too. There was a huge decrease. I want you to understand this. There's a huge decrease when it came to Hillary and Biden. That's almost that's 9 points. There was a 9-point drop off between Clinton and Biden among the women. And then when it came to Biden and Harris, now Harris is this alleged black woman, there's almost another big drop off right there. Not as big, of course, but it's a bigger drop off than it was from Obama to Clinton. Now you got a 4% drop off. So they're dropping off, of course, at much slower rates, but you can still see that they're dropping off. Their number is not increasing. While they want to talk about some sexism.
And to a lesser degree, black women for the Democratic nominee. Biden was doing better among black men than Harris appears to be right now, based on some of the better polling that looks at these demographics. So I guess the other part of this is, you're talking about keep the business private. You're saying he's messing up the strategy, but the numbers are the numbers. And he's trying to fix a numerical problem that she has, a math problem that she has.
Right. I agree with most of what you were saying, Solomon. I don't think the problem is that he spoke it out loud. I think the problem is that he singled out black men. In other words, there is a sexism component to this race. There was a sexism component to the Hillary Clinton-Donald Trump race. Right. If Trump wins, he will have only ever beaten women. I can't give you a number, but sexism is in the mix here. But it's not black men specifically. I think it's men, not black men. And that, I think, is part of where Obama went wrong.
And I think we also have to look at numbers and actual statistics, right? Because all of those reliable polling has a small demographic of black men. You're talking about most of them poll at most 40, 50 black men, right?
Well, I don't think in this particular case, just to be clear about what we were looking at there, the exit polls were from the actual elections that we had, and then the Pew polling, Pew looks more closely at specific demographics, right. and they do that in a way that we, as a news organization, deem to be a reliable way of looking at this. Not every poll is reliable, but we think this one is.
And when you remember now, we had the same conversation 2 years ago about Stacey Abrams. Why won't black men support Stacey Abrams? And after the election was over, we saw the numbers, and black men in Georgia, where I live, supported Stacey Abrams at higher rates than they supported Biden. So we have this narrative, and then you have the truth, and you have this conjecture.
But the candidates are speaking with their actions. Kamala Harris next week is sitting down with Charlemagne the God to talk to black men. They're being explicit about it. Right. So let me play for you what happened on Charlemagne's show yesterday when they were talking about a call that they'd received from a black man in Florida. This was kind of in the context of the storms, but they played the call. Listen.
I want to say something. They do this every single time. Before we get into that, I wanted to let the whole thing with Stacey Abrams, where's Stacey Abrams? Where is she? Nobody knows. Okay. That's a pretty big person to lose, too. So it's very interesting. Nobody knows. But let me say this. Every single time the Democratic Party runs a woman and they don't have a huge amount of black men supporting, or just overall black support, like 100%, they always and will forever play this. It must be some type of internalized misogyny. It must be because of sexism. It must be because black men are traumatized and don't want to see a woman lead. And black men are intimidated by a strong, independent woman. And they have an issue with women. They always do this when they run a female candidate. They always do that. Now, what's interesting is that when you have a female candidate running on the Republican side, they don't ever bring up racism. I want you to understand, Nikki Haley, she was running earlier this year. She was running for president for the Republican ticket earlier this year. Nobody said that's sexism. So when we don't want to support somebody who's independent, who is a female, when we don't want to support somebody who's green, that's a female. When we don't want to support somebody who's red, that's a female. That is because we are intelligent voters and that we care about the policies and that we don't believe that they would be fit for the job. But the second we don't want to support somebody who happens to be Democrat in a female, it can't be because she's bad at her job. No, it can't be because she's underqualified, or it can't be because we just disagree with her policies or we agree with somebody else's policies more. It can't be because of that. It is because of the fact that as black men, we are just intimidated by the black girl magic that Democratic women and only Democratic women have, because they never make that excuse when it comes to a Republican woman, when it comes to a green woman, when it comes to an independent woman. They don't have that excuse of sexism is the reason why black men didn't back Nikki Haley. They don't ever have that. They don't ever say that. Or Jill Stein. They don't ever say sexism is the reason black men aren't supporting. But when it comes to Democratic women, it's sexism. Okay. Yeah, you think we stupid, but we not.
It don't matter what they is, Democrat, Republican, they all treason, man. They all about money, bro. None of these people care about American people, bro. This shit hurt, bro. This shit hurt, bro. People wake up every day just want to live their life, bro. And you got these weed snakes, man. You got these weed snakes call themselves government service people, bro. And they don't give a damn.
Yeah. And the thing about that call was that, you know, they said it's kind of representative of what they hear often on that show, which is why she's going there.
Well, I think that you have people who are angry. I think that you have people who are planted. I think that you have people who are sent to troll. I think that you have people who are sent with a specific message to deliver to black people. And you see it online. I hear it on the radio. I see it on social media. I see it on our Facebook feed as we're doing our show. And so I think some of that is real, and I think some of it is manufactured. I think some of it is performative. But I do think,
I want you to understand, let's take a moment to analyze and really digest how disrespectful what this dude just said. Remember when we talked about the hurricane and we talked about that caller who called into the Breakfast Club from Florida and was talking about how the Biden-Harris administration did a horrific job with the recovery, with the preparation and recovery of the hurricane. Okay, remember? And he was talking about how the fact that they are giving out this money and they're doling out money, they're cutting checks for overseas, and they're allowing millions of people to come over here against the law. That's illegal. They're allowing them to come over here and they're providing billions of dollars worth of resources for them. All right. So this man was on the phone and he was going off about that. And then you got this guy right here is going to say, I think that this is orchestrated. He's going to say, well, I think that this is a troll. He called this man who called in a troll. What? And I want you to keep this in mind. When the guy was calling, he didn't call out Biden or Harris specifically. He didn't call out Trump. He said both sides is messed up. And this dude is going to be all like, well, you know, you got some trolls on the internet. So everybody who every real genuine person who is suffering because of them and is actually brave enough to sit up here and say that publicly is a troll. All of them are trolls. All of them. Okay? Let him tell it. Just listen to it. This is the amount of the lack of sympathy and the disrespect that they have for anybody who's not on the Democratic plantation.
I think that you have people who are angry. I think that you have people who are planted. I think that you have...
He's planted. I think you have people who are angry. I think you have people who are planted. So what is this? Is a Russian bot who called the phone? Is what they're saying. This is a Russian bot, apparently.
People who are sent to troll. I think that you have people who are sent with a specific message to deliver to black people. And you see it online. I hear it on the radio. I see it on social media. I see it on our Facebook feed as we're doing our show. And so I think some of that is real, and I think some of it is manufactured. I think some of it is performative, but I do think that there are black men at two ends of the spectrum. There's the old black man that's going to say, well, I'm not going to vote for a woman because the Bible says men should be in charge, right? There's that guy. But then there's the young black man who only gets his news from social media and nowhere else. And so he's not watching us. He's not listening. He's not reading me or Michael. He's not reading David. He's not doing any of that. His news comes from social media. And so he has a specific point of view and is likely to believe conspiracy theories. The question.
Do you see this? Now it's a likely to believe conspiracy theories because there CNN is honest. Whew. Oh, okay. Whew, Lord. Okay. CNN is honest. CNN is honest, and they don't ever spread any misinformation. They don't ever say anything that's incorrect. CNN, there's some honest individuals at CNN. Okay. That they're really honest over there. So if you listen to social media, then you're getting misinformation. It can't be because somebody actually doesn't like them. He's like all of the older people who like them, they're just Bible thumpers and believe that men should be in charge all the time, which I've not seen one older man be all like, I'm not going to vote for her because in the Bible, it says not to have a woman president. I've not seen one of them, but let's say there are some, okay? And then you have the young black men who get all their news from social media, okay, as if all CNN is not on social media and Kamala is not on social media and all of them are not also on social media as well too, okay, as if all of them don't have a Twitter page, Instagram, all of them are on social media. So when you say they listen to social media, you mean they listen to people who are not you. That's what you really mean. What about the people who are just informed and dislike your agenda? Those people don't agree, don't understand. They're wrong. I want you to understand, these people don't really believe in democracy. And I've been saying this. These people don't believe in free will. These people don't believe that a black person should have be able to have a difference of opinion. They believe this is our opinion. And if you do not agree with our opinion, you're wrong. That's just it. You're just wrong. You're not correct. That's what they believe.
Question is, do people who vote, are they on social media or are they on Social Security? I think they're on Social Security.
Well, I think that the problem is that no one's disputing that this government in this country doesn't treat that they treat black men okay, or that we don't have a gripe with either party, right? Because if you talk to black people privately, they will have a gripe with the Democratic Party. The point is, how do you fix it? And why don't you approach that solution the same way you approach the solution with white people and white women who don't vote Democratic, the white men who don't vote Democrat, the Hispanics who don't vote? Why do you take the specific tact for one demographic and not the entire political strategy that you use for everyone else?
I think the answer is what you said a minute ago, which is that Democrats have to get out of the habit of taking the black vote for granted. Yeah, Trump got 19% of black men, 12% of black people last time around. Like, it's going to be a bigger number this time. Adapt to that. Don't just assume.
I think we're also...
Light-skinned Vegeta said something correct with the glasses and the weird haircut.
Talking about race, but in many ways, gender is the key variable here, because even if you look at white people, the Republican Party has been getting a higher and higher share of the male vote. The parties have become more gendered overall, and it's true of Hispanics. So what we're seeing among black people is similar to the trends we're seeing among other races. So that's the key question: is why are the parties getting more gendered?
Well, I think the AP did a poll last month in the middle of the month, and what they found was that the overwhelming majority of black voters, whether they are male or female, favor Kamala Harris over Donald Trump. They had a positive view of her. They had a negative view of him. And there wasn't much difference between men and women. So I think that when we're talking about this, we're talking about people who are loud and wrong. I think that's what's happening, is that we hear these voices. They're very loud, and we think that there are more of them than there are. And we'll see when the election happens.
If it was, I'm telling you right now, y'all, I'm telling you right now, if it was a small number, if this number didn't matter, and it was a very small and insignificant number, they wouldn't even be discussing it. It's like, yeah, I think it's a smaller number than it is now, and I think most of the people are on Social Security. If it was an insignificant number of black males who didn't want to support her, they would not be discussing it, because it's such a pivotal discussion and a pivotal factor in this race, so much so they're discussing it because Obama made a fuss about it. And Obama made a fuss because he says, I've been looking at the polls and the studies and listening to people, and it's showing me that you guys are off course. It's showing me that you guys are going against the grain. He's gonna understand. He knows for a fact that you're not gonna get 100% of the black vote, whether that's the black men or women. He understands that. So if black men were supporting him like about 90 something percent, Obama wouldn't have said anything. It can't even be close because Obama clearly thought that it was a problem, the lack of support that they were showing. It was enough for them to be scolded by him. So it clearly was a significant number that is dropping off the Democratic plantation. So for him to be all like, oh, it's this, not that. They always say that, oh, there's only a few people. They make a lot of noise, but really majority of people, they're on course, they're on board. No, clearly not. Clearly the people who are making a lot of noise is also making a lot of motion too. Because if it was, I'm telling you, they wouldn't waste their time if it was only like a 2% drop off. They're wasting their time because clearly the number that is dropping off and it's increasing, or decreasing, clearly that is leading to a problem. They wouldn't even be discussing it if it wasn't a problem. Let me give a shout out to Black Americans Come First. Says we put the pause on Obama politically. Yes, we did. We definitely put the virtually and politically. We absolutely did. Thank you so very much. Okay. Then I want to hold on. Let me get this off screen. Then I want to get to this other clip from CNN. And I want to explain after this other clip what I think our strategy needs to be going forward. So, and it's very, very important because we're right here, right before the election. So let's play this.
I find it very interesting that
weird looking white woman.
we're trying to reach out to white men. We're trying to reach out to black men. The people whose rights are really on the ballot right now are women. And we're begging all these men to pay attention to us and to care enough about this election, to vote, to come out, to support us. I feel like Brock going on the campaign trail right now makes perfect sense. Of course, right? He's a top surrogate for Democrats. He should be out there doing the work right now. I think it's so amazing to me that with women's rights on the line, we're spending so much time focusing on making sure men care.
Because men, I don't know, it's because men are the problem
Men
right now
should
for
care.
Kamala Harris.
I mean, women.
And by the way,
Okay. Yeah, because Abby said men are the problem. And women's rights are on the line. Newsflash, no. Okay. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again. Do you guys understand that there's nothing that Harris can do to bring back Roe v. Wade? She can't do that. She couldn't do it because Biden can't do it. The Supreme Court can do that because it's the Supreme Court decision. All she would be able to do is appoint Supreme Court judges. So she would need 2 of the conservative judges to drop out, 2 conservative judges to drop out for her to replace them. Assuming that they will drop out, which is unlikely if they know that the president is of the opposite party. It's unlikely that they're going to drop out if they have a liberal president in the White House, because they know they would be replaced with a liberal judge. So that's unlikely that she could do that. The same way Biden can't do it. She can't sign anything. She can't sign an executive order. The same way Biden couldn't do it. So this whole women's rights. Notice they just kind of don't like to say abortion. I just want you to, regardless of what you think. Notice they try to make it seem like this is some very severe thing, bodily autonomy, women's rights, all that. They just say abortion. No, they don't want to say abortion because saying abortion is a right just doesn't land like that. Okay. But regardless of how you feel, she couldn't bring it back because Biden can't bring it back. It's not up to the president. Okay. So that's just a waste of time.
Governor Walz, according to Politico, is going to be going out on a men tour, literally a tour of media to appeal to men.
They need to appear.
I don't know what men Walz is going to be appealing to. Mr. Tampon in the boys' bathroom. This dude is sitting up there putting tampons in a boy's bathroom, talking about he's going to be going on a mentor. First off, that sounds gay. And I don't mean gay in a bad way. I'm not saying there's anything wrong being gay, you two. I'm just saying it sounds very suspect. I'm going on a mentor. What is that? That sounds sus. Okay, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that at all. If that's your lifestyle, let it be your lifestyle. That is your choice. Okay, let me just get that straight. I'm just saying, you could not convince me. There's no way I'm gonna be all like, hey, this guy is on a man tour. Do you want to join him on this men tour? We're a man tour. What we're touring men? No. I'm cool, especially with Waltz. I don't know what y'all gonna be doing on this men tour. Hell no. I don't know what men he think he gonna attract. Lord have mercy. He gonna be giving the tampons to the men for the votes. Tampons for votes, brothers. Okay. They sent the wrong person to do a men. They sent the wrong person to do a damn men tour.
Voters. And so when I was a delegate for President Obama in both of his elections in Ohio, right now the vice president is down 11 points in Ohio, even though I fully expect President Trump to take Ohio as he did twice, but to be down 11 points compared to President Biden, that is a problem. But this other issue I want to bring up is a problem too. Why are black men being lectured to? Why are black men being belittled in ways that no other voting group? Now, a lot of love for former President Obama, but for him to single out black men is wrong. And some of the black men that I have talked to have their reasons why they want to vote a different way. And even if some of us may not like that, we have to respect it. So unless President Barack Obama is going to go out and lecture every other group of men from other identity groups, my message for Democrats is don't bring it here to black men who, by and large, don't vote much differently from black women. And why? As a politician, we should be trying to get all voters to vote. And hopefully there are a few good men out there who do care about the stripping away of some of women's bodily autonomy. But this is wrong for President Obama. It is a wrong course for the Harris-Waltz campaign to lay at the feet of black men when they have their reasons. In 2020, the vice president was labeled a cop, as we know.
But do you think, sorry to interrupt you, Nina, but
First off, all the bodily autonomy stuff, y'all really need to stop. Okay, y'all not winning nobody with that. And notice that Abby cut her off. Because when she was going to get into, I want you to pay very close attention to this. Because when Nina was about to get into the reasons why, because they keep, Abby sitting up there, all she does is play dumb and be acting like, is it sexism? Is it sexism? Is it the fact that she's a woman and they don't like women? Even though you can't define what a woman is, because what a woman is, apparently, according to them, a woman could be anything at any time. But is it because she's a woman? Whatever that means at this particular time. That's Abby's always asking these questions. When Nina, I want you to keep this in mind, when Nina was giving specific answers, she's all like, there's reasons why. The second she starts going into the reasons why, because Abby's always asking why I don't know, what could it be? I don't know why. She's asking why. The second she starts getting into the reasons why, she cuts her off. Just notice that, because they want to have these. This is a controlled opposition panel, so you know. This isn't really to discuss what black men really want, which is not something specific for black men, it's for the community, really. Okay? Because the same reasons why black women are not supporting her is the same reasons why black men are not supporting her. Okay?
Men when they have their reasons. In 2020, the vice president was labeled a cop, as we know.
do you think, sorry to interrupt you, Nina, but do you think he's right that one of the reasons is because they don't like the idea of a
There
woman
might be some
in the White
listen,
House?
black men are socialized in the same society as any other man. So yes, is misogyny maybe a part of it? But again, is President
No, okay, sorry. You gotta take a point off of that. No, it's not. And that's very dangerous to peddle. No, misogyny is not a part of that. Misogyny is not a part of no. We're conditioned in the same society, so maybe it is misogyny. No, maybe she's just bad. You were just getting into the reasons. Don't fold because she mentioned misogyny. Don't do that. Because You are literally just giving into the reasons. You said I had a list of reasons, and then she said misogyny, and then you talking about, yeah, no, what are you doing? No, that's not the reason at all, because if that's the case, we would have had a stronger support for Biden. How do we have a stronger collectively, not me at all, or you all, but how do we as collective have a stronger support for Harris than Biden if we don't like Harris because she's a woman? That doesn't make any sense. That fact alone debunks the whole misogyny talking point. So come on. Like, come on, man.
President Obama and is the Harris Waltz campaign going to lecture other male groups in the same way that they're lecturing
This is
black
not just
men?
about.
I don't think so.
It's not just about Pennsylvania. It's not just about men. It sounds like there's a concern that there's a broad problem for Vice President Harris with the blue wall. It's basically, according to the poll of polls, no clear leader, a tied race essentially in all three of these battleground states. You know, I don't know that this is because Trump has run a great campaign, but I mean,
I think it's not.
I mean, maybe he has, maybe he hasn't, but he has struggled against Kamala Harris in this early stage, but he's still kept this race pretty tight and maybe has made some inroads in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, absolutely, he has.
Okay. I'm going to say this too, because she also said something about, oh, you can't blame black men. Don't blame black men. I'm going to say something, and I'm going to be very, very, very clear. Blame black men. I want to be blamed. I want to be blamed. I want to be blamed. I want all of the blame, all of it. And as black women, you should want blame too. We need the blame. And I'm going to tell you why it's so important. Because when they do their talking afterwards, when they do their analyzing after why she's lost, what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to say, oh no, her black support was fine. Her black support was fine. She was losing because of something else. No. She lost because we said she couldn't get in. See, this is where the power starts to come in. We got to send her home, and then we got to let it be known very clear and very publicly, you didn't get the White House because black people said no. And I made this tweet about it. Let me show it to you all, okay? We got to, because this is where is going to come full circle right around this point right here. All right, where is it? Okay, this is what I said. Okay, then I tagged at Kamala Harris. If she loses the election, is because of the black community. And don't say black men. Don't just say black men. Say it's the black community. Oh, no, it's not black men, because what they're going to do is black men. And then that must mean that it's some type of misogyny. Nope. Nope. It says, we've been the Democrats' most loyal base and get told no, just like here. Hold on. Just like here.
No.
In a second, I want to unmute it. Now you don't want to play no more? Come on now. Okay, well, y'all know what she said. Anyway, we get told no to all our demands, so we're saying no to you winning the election. And we got to let it be abundantly clear. You didn't get in because we said no. The same way you said no when we asked about reparations. The same way you said no when we gave you our demands.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. When
we send her home, we have to drive in the point that this is the reason why she got sent home. We don't know. Don't be all like, don't blame us. Don't know. All of the blame, all of it, 100%. You didn't lose because of the war in Gaza. You didn't lose because of the Union vote, because they're not your most loyal base. You didn't lose because of Palestinians. You didn't lose because of Arabs. You lost because you said no at this point right here. Yes, this is that's my Twitter. Somebody in the chat room, and it's in the description below. Yeah, and we gotta let it be known because they're going to say for next time, oh, well, we don't have to do anything for you guys because you guys weren't why we lost. We lost because of them. So what we need to do is we need to give more resources to them. We need to give it to them. Okay, not you guys, because you guys were good. We're good with you guys. We have a good, we're like this, but we lost because of them. So let's give them more money. We're going to get, no. They lost because I swear to God, if they lose, I will brag. Give me all of the blame, 100% of it. You lost because when we gave you a list of things to do, you did not do any of those things. You lost because the bill that we gave you ain't been paid. You did not pay your bill. That's the way the real world works. That's the way life works. You don't pay your bill, the stuff gets shut off, you get your stuff taken away. We gave you a bill, you had your resources to pay it, you were paying the immigrants, you were paying Ukraine, you were paying all these other things. You were giving money hand over fist to everything else while we sit up there and told you what to do. You said no, so we said no. I want all of the blame, all of the smoke. If she loses, don't say, well, black men, they vote for her. Oh, they vote for her. Great. No, we don't. No, we don't. Because y'all saying we don't. If we did, y'all wouldn't be saying nothing. Okay. If we were voting for her, y'all wouldn't be saying nothing. You are saying something now. Obama said something now because clearly it's a problem with the black male vote. And really, they don't want to say it because then that's in full panic mode. Clearly, the black female vote is really not that strong either. No, it's the black community vote, okay? Because if they thought with the amount of black people that they have now, if they thought, oh, we got this, we cool, we don't need to worry, they wouldn't be saying nothing. They're saying something now. They're in panic mode. If you're winning by 100 points in a basketball game, there's 5 minutes left in the game, you're not going to be sitting up there fouling people. Everybody going to be playing a smooth game. Y'all sitting up there rushing everybody to make points and block people and everything because you are losing. And I want it to be known clearly. I want to leave a calling card. Okay, you lost because we said no. Remember, you said no to reparations, so no to the White House. Go, goodbye. And don't think about coming back. You had your chance. You said no to reparations. Goodbye. I want that to, and it has to be known. We have to submit that now. Don't try to shift the blame, because when they shift the blame to some other reason, what they're going to try to say is, well, really, we need to focus on them. Nope. Focus on me. Focus on the fact that you didn't do what I said, not them. You didn't lose because of them. You lost because of me, because I told you what to do and you didn't do it. Okay? That's why. That's 100% why. Don't let them try to remix that or shift that or anything. Don't let them do that. No. You also had people out here, brothers and sisters, you had people out here trying to defend Obama as much as they could. You had, and I got to get to him. You had Plies out here. Lord have mercy. Him again. You had Plies out here. Look at this.
Real quick, this about the clip that went viral of Obama having a conversation with a group of black men about why he felt the Walls and Harris ticket was better suited for them. But it's just like they did Magic Johnson. Oh, there you go. Always trying to lecture the black man. That motherfucking man ain't trying to lecture you. He was giving you his opinion. Do what you want to do with the information. But it's just like anytime somebody telling you something you don't want to hear, you feel like they trying to motherfucking lecture you. It's just like a motherfucking kid. You telling a child something he don't want to hear, they gonna turn their motherfucking head because they feel like you trying to lecture them. But Trump can call into a motherfucking black barbershop in Atlanta, Georgia, and tell you the same thing on why he feel you should vote for him. And don't nobody say, oh, there he go, always trying to lecture the black.
No. What Plies is trying to do is gaslight right here. And this is their pathetic excuse or their pathetic attempt to try to save Obama. He's all like, well, Obama really wasn't lecturing, really. He was just giving his opinion. Obama sat up there, folded his arms, and said that black men have the wrong idea of what it is to be a man, and that us not voting for her was unacceptable, and he didn't like it. No, that was not his opinion. That was him scolding black men. Dude is just a liar.
man. He can send Byron Donner and Tim Scott all around the motherfucking country and do radio interviews on why the black people should vote for Donald Trump, and don't nobody say, oh, there they go, always trying to lecture the black man. But the minute the goddamn black man, who for 8 years turned around the motherfucking economy that everybody benefited from.
Well, you know, except the people who, you know, got finessed out of their houses and were homeless that Obama didn't do anything for. But he did bail out the banks that finessed the black people, you know, and had them become homeless, because there was a huge spike in black homelessness under the Obama administration, which he did not do anything for. Okay, just keep that in mind.
Who earned the right to have a motherfucking conversation with you. Now,
Obama has not earned the right to have a conversation with a single black soul. Okay?
Better watch out. Why he always trying to shame the black man? I'm gonna tell you what shaming the motherfucking black man is. Going to your motherfucking city, just like 45 do, whether it's Detroit, whether it's Milwaukee, whether it's Atlanta, and telling you in your motherfucking face, this city is a motherfucking mess because too many of y'all motherfucking live here. That's what's motherfucking shaming you. Well, why he always isolate the black man? Why he don't have that energy for the white man? You know why? If he'd have took his motherfucking ass over there and had an isolated conversation with the white man first, you know what the motherfucking conversation would have been. There you go. Always skipping right over the black man. They always taking our vote for granted. That's exactly what the motherfucking conversation would have been. All men be asked this question, you goddamn right. But he ain't out here demoralizing the motherfucking white man. 45 ain't. I'm just like motherfucking Obama. I'm saying, I'm fine with whatever you do. But when have we start considering supporting the motherfucker who talk about you like a dog? He ain't motherfucking demoralizing the white man. I'd be asking the white man the same thing. Damn, you let him talk to you like that and you still considering supporting him? I personally don't believe no motherfucking group of black men supporting that shit like the media wants you to believe. I personally don't believe it. Not me. Kamala was out here talking about you like a dog and you was considering vote for her. I'd be asking you the same motherfucking question too. White man, look in the mirror too, buddy.
Okay, so that was their pathetic attempt. He's trying his best. He trying his best, but you have some people who actually was a little bit more aggressive with this. Look at this. Look at this, y'all. And I want you to see, this is the average intelligence of the Harris supporter.
So I just got done watching President Obama call out black men for their lack of support of Kamala Harris and their support instead of Trumpelstiltskins. And I have two thoughts. The first thought being that while I thoroughly enjoyed watching that video and watching Obama call black men out, it's also very sad to me that this video even had to be made or said. That's just sad.
I want you just so she enjoyed watching Obama call us out. That's what she said. She thoroughly enjoyed watching Obama call us out. Okay. Now, she said it was sad. Why is it sad? Let's listen.
The other thought that I had, though, is I remember when Obama ran for president, and so many black people, not just black men, black people, voted for him simply because he was a black man running for president. They were here for history. They were here for the optics of it all. They didn't really care about his policy. They didn't really care about what he stood for. They just saw a black man running, and they were here for it. And so now that we have a black woman running, another historic moment, suddenly black people don't care if she's a black woman. They want to know what her policies are. They want to know what she stands for. They want to know what she plans to do. And don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with wanting to know those things. That is perfectly fine. I just find it interesting that now that it's a black woman running, suddenly you don't care if she's a black woman. Suddenly that doesn't mean anything to you. Suddenly now you want to know what her plans are.
This is a legal adult, grown enough to vote, and she really said something this stupid. She literally said, like, I just don't understand why her being essentially she's saying, well, why is her being a black woman, which, you know, every time somebody says that, it just makes me think of this image right here. Okay, I just so we can have a good visual, just so we can have a very clear, good visual. This is the black woman that she's referring to. Okay, this is the alleged black woman that she is referring to. I just have to let that be known. She's saying, why are we caring at all about policies whatsoever? Because when Obama was running, we didn't care about policies. which a lot of people did. A lot of people did care about policies. Okay, still. But yeah, we thought that Obama was going to hook us up. So after Obama, we learned. After Obama, we wisened up. After Obama, we said, oh, okay, we can't just vote off what you look like. Clearly, we did that before twice, and that messed us up. So we're not going to go forward with just voting for somebody because they look a certain way anymore. We're over that. And now she's going to sit up here. She's trying to make it seem like this is some type of sexism. Oh, so why, when a black woman runs, why does she have to be good, essentially, is what she just said.
Because voting for her because she's a black woman is a good enough reason. Because why do y'all think folks are voting for Trump Stillskins? Right. So
folks aren't voting for Trump because he white. Because Biden was white too. And folks was voting for Trump over Biden. Is Biden not white? Biden is white. And so is Trump. So it's not just him being white. So she's sitting up there saying, why can't we just vote purely off of symbolism?
I just think that should be unpacked as well. Just saying.
Okay. And this is why this is the average intelligence of the Harris supporter. The average intelligence of her. Okay. Look at this though. Then this woman comes up. If y'all thought she was bad, listen to this.
Yeah, I'm finna say this with my chest. If you don't vote in this election or you vote the wrong way and you're black, you deserve everything that you don't get. You deserve being overlooked for that job opportunity. You deserve getting pulled over driving while black. You deserve racial inequality. You deserve having to have a job with a non-livable wage. You deserve the fact that you're going to have student loan debt for the next 25 years. You deserve not being able to buy a house and build generational wealth. Some of y'all are just...
Do you listen? When they tell us our ancestors died for us to have the right to vote, remember they be saying that you have to vote now. Your ancestors died for you to have the right to vote. And then tell us you have to vote the right way. Well, hold on. I thought our ancestors died for us to choose, not for us to vote based off of what you determine is the right way. Who are you to determine that? And then she says, not only do they used to say you have to vote. Now they're saying, no, you have to vote the right way. The right way, which means for the Democrats. You have to vote the right way. Because they're right. And if we don't do it, we deserve racial inequality. This is it. What came out of her mouth? We deserve to be overlooked we deserve to be racially discriminated. We deserve to face racism when it comes to housing. We deserve for our student loans not to be forgiven. We deserve to suffer under the system of white supremacy because we did not vote the right way. This is how strongly they believe in the Democratic plantation. They look at Democrats like they're deities, like they're gods. She's scolding. She's doing more scolding than Obama did. She's scolding us like she's talking about Jesus or something like that. Like we going to hell. I'm a little surprised she didn't say that.
It's embarrassing. And I'm not talking about embarrassing to yourselves. You're embarrassing to your ancestors. You're embarrassing to all of the barriers that were broken before you were even thought about existing on this planet Earth. Y'all are embarrassing to your children and to your grandchildren that you've not even met yet. It is disgusting.
You think our ancestors and our grandchildren and our families, do you believe that if they heard somebody say, if you don't vote the right way, you deserve to be racially discriminated against? You deserve to be pulled over because you're black? You deserve that? And she's talking about how we are an embarrassment.
Having a literacy test has got to be put back on the table. Because y'all done messed it up for everybody.
I'm telling you, and let me let you know something. This shows we are winning. This shows we're winning, y'all. Now you might look at that and you might get offended. It is very offensive. Don't get me wrong, it's very offensive, but I want you to understand something. They wouldn't be this mad if we were not this significant number. They're always trying to play us down. They're always trying to talk us down and make it seem like we're not this big of a number or whatever the case is. We're not significant or whatever. They're always doing that, but look at how mad that they are. It wouldn't matter if it was like a 3%, 4%, even 5%. They're this mad. Her, Obama, all of the panel of CNN having multiple conversations about it. It wouldn't even be that big of a deal if it was just this small, little significant number. Oh no, it wouldn't. This shows we are really winning because the enemy's not going to get mad if they're winning. And the CNN poll just shows she's tied in all of the swing states. Okay. Which, I want you to be honest, about a month ago, they said she was winning in all of the swing states. She had a lead in all of the swing states. Now she's tied. Okay. And now they're getting mad. Okay. But I want to reiterate, we definitely have to drive 2 points home. The number one point is that this is nothing to do with the misogyny or sexism, nothing at all. Number two, if she loses, it is because the black vote said no. It is because of what she and not just her, the Democratic Party has done. It is because you guys failed with our assignment for reparations. You failed our assignment for a black hate crime bill. You failed our assignment for ending qualified immunity. You failed our assignment for anything tangible. You failed, and now that's why you lost. That is exactly why you lost. Okay? Let me ask you guys a question. Since we got a little bit of time, it's Sunday. I want to actually, and we normally don't do this. It's a special occasion. Do you guys want to call in? Because I really want to connect with you guys today. If you guys want to call in, put the cell phone emoji in the chat room. Because I'm feeling like we should take a couple of calls. That's what I want to take a couple of calls, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. Because they're not going to do this. No, they don't like to take calls. They don't like to do this. So we got to show that we will take calls. Now, if you're a Harris supporter, if you're if you disagree with anything that I said, you can feel free to call. You can feel free to call in and all that stuff. Okay, well, let's go. We got more than enough. Let's set this up. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. Okay, my fault. It takes me a little bit of time to get that set up. It takes me a little bit of time, y'all. So, but we are here. So the number, brothers and sisters, is, let me pull the numbers up. The number is, and I appreciate, it's Sunday. Normally we don't go live, but I got a lot of stuff next week to talk about, and I didn't want to miss my chance to talk about this today. So the number to call in and let me know what you guys think about this is 949 381 0044. 949-381-0044. That's 949-381-0044. All right. So we're gonna have our callers come in. We already gotten people calling up. That's good news. Make sure my audio is correct. My audio is good. Okay, hold on. So we're gonna get to caller from area code. Let me see, what area code is this? Caller from area code 301. You are on live. What is your name and where are you calling from?
It's Torian calling from the
My
land
brother
of the mumbo
Torian. How you feeling, bro?
What's going on? What's going on?
Man, I'm in a good mood, man. I'm in a good mood. I think we winning. This election is turning out the way it should. It's turning out the way it should.
Right. You know what's so crazy? When you said that, it reminded me of a post that I made on X yesterday, pretty much saying the same exact thing. I said, if we as Black people are not embracing our villainy with this election, I don't know what we're doing. We're doing something wrong, because I'm rather enjoying it. I said, do y'all know how much content has come from this? I definitely will be speaking on this at a later date, but I get so backed up sometimes. But I do have something to talk about tomorrow on a local level with our governor here in Maryland, because he basically said something along the same things, as far as the morale for Kamala Harris being down as far as Black people goes. And when he sat up there, he just basically sat up there and babbled. So people will see tomorrow what he had to say. So make sure y'all also checking to see on your local level what people are saying as it pertains to this, because I'm sure they're probably saying some of the same exact things. But as far as what this is going on right now, I'm actually glad that so many people are speaking about this and also pushing back against the narrative as well, because we have to be pretty much fearless when it comes to this, because we already know how they're going to act. We've seen how they are and how they got down in the last few years, but they feel like this is about to be the end of the world. I saw something today where they said if 45 gets back in, hell is going to be raised. So I said, so you're telling me that the core is going to open up and just a whole bunch of minions are going to start flying right out? I said, y'all are doing.
They really act like that.
Too much. I'm like, oh my God! And it's October 13th. It is October 13th. The election is on the 5th. We are about 2.5 weeks away from this circus being over. I'm over it. I don't know about you, but I'm over it. I said, if I could go in a time machine right now, I will go back 29 years to the OJ trial. Then having to deal with this.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. When this election is over, it's gonna feel like, and I know you feel this way. It's gonna feel like a big weight off of our shoulders. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna feel like a huge weight off our shoulders. There's so many other stories that I've been looking at, but I'm all like, I really want to focus on pushing the needle right before the election, when hopefully it turns out the way it should, to be very honest, and we send a strong message to the Democratic Party that they can't play with us. But man, when it's over, now I get to kind of get to some of the other stories and topics I've been needing to talk about, and I'm going to be happy about that.
Yeah. Oh, I said, this wasn't going to interrupt my flow. I said I was not about to let this cycle interrupt whatever it is I'm gonna talk about. I said y'all will just have to hear from me with what I have to say about it when you hear it. As long as I can get it done before the 5th, that's all that matters. And it's funny, they always tell us didn't Obama say to vote down ballot or something like that, something along those lines. I think he did say that. I said I got my mail-in ballot was it last week, and I sure did vote down ballot. I went right to the write-in part and wrote down ballot, cut the check, Couch 2024, tangibles and reparations, ending qualified immunity, and an anti-Black hate crime bill. Sealed it up and sent it back.
I like that. I like that idea. They say vote. They say our ancestors died for us to have the right to vote. I think that's a pretty intelligent vote, if you ask me. That's the best one I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
That's yeah. And Torian, I know you've been going you kind of, I think, don't go live because you posted a little bit more shorts. Like you used to be going live like every day. I don't think you go live every day anymore, but you do go live. You post a video every day, don't you?
pretty much. I post a video every day for the most part, and when I go live whenever I can. Like I know that there's 2 days this week I'm gonna go live this week. But I don't know if you heard. Well, you probably did. You heard about what happened to the Black MAGA supporters at that rally.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, not so much there. I'm definitely gonna be talking about that, and I also got some things I got to talk about with JD Vance and this weird comment that he made. I said this last week on a live that I did. PC, when y'all try to do a comparison of Black people's plight to whatever plight y'all got going on, y'all need to stop, because the comparisons don't even remotely add up. I mean, when you hear what this fool had to say, it's like, no. This is why I told people. I said the supporters and the grifters, those are the main people that I like to talk about, because they are the ones that's holding their candidates up. And when you get them to wobble a little bit and get them to quake, that's what brings down their foundation. Going to the candidate, I mean, granted, that's what we're going to do regardless. But when it comes to that, those supporters, those are the absolute worst. I remember when I had posted up something on my community tab months ago asking who was worse, the grifter or their supporters. At the time, many people said the grifter. I came back a few months later and asked the same exact question. And many people, it flipped. Everyone said the supporters over the grifters.
Yeah, the support. I think that's the worst thing. They're so unhinged. They're so unintelligent. They're so extreme. They're like the virus or the anchor. They're the problem of the party, to be honest. Like the supporters are so bad, they'll make the candidate look bad.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I know you got more callers that wanted to call in, and I'm going to get back into the chat and hear what else everybody else got to say.
Yeah, appreciate you. Y'all go make sure you guys go subscribe to Torian Rain. That's Torian Rain Reloaded on YouTube. He's going to be in the chat room. And catch his you said you're going live tomorrow, right?
No, the next time I go live is going to be on Wednesday, but I do have a video coming tomorrow, though.
Okay.
About the governor of my state.
Okay. Well, y'all make sure y'all catch his live stream tomorrow.
All right.
Thank you, Torian. Appreciate your call. That's our good brother Torian. We got a lot of callers, so let's get to it. Caller from area code 920. You are on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Afro Elite? This is Trav, D.A. Truth, Trav the Truth. Repping North Charleston, South Carolina. I'm currently in Green Bay, Wisconsin, but I'm from North Charleston, South Carolina. What's up, brother?
How you feeling, brother? Hopefully everything is okay in North. Do you live in North Carolina now? Hopefully everything's okay with the storms and everything.
Oh no, I'm in Wisconsin right now as we speak, but I'm actually from the Carolinas. I'm a Geechee boy from Charleston. You know, I'm cut from the Gullah. From the Gullah Geechee Claw, you know what I mean?
Oh,
but
yeah, okay.
I lived in Asheville, North Carolina. I actually lived in Asheville, North Carolina, man. And I will say it is very disheartening to see what happened out there, because I used to jog in the mountains in Asheville. I live not too far away from the Biltmore. The Biltmore is like the largest residential home in America, I believe. Yeah, the Biltmore is owned by the Vanderbilts. I used to jog by there every day, so it's sad to see what took place in North Carolina, but this is the thing, Afro. We can look at the situation in North Carolina and the lack of federal assistance and the failure of this Democratic regime, and it's just further proof that this is not the political party for us. Not only foundational Black Americans, but just Americans in general. We can have a whole conversation outside of us being foundational Black Americans and just speak from a perspective of being American citizens and make a really good case for why this political party, this regime, is just not for us. It's counterproductive. You know, it's actually, they're actively hurting Americans right now. You know, some of the same aid and assistance that was provided to these illegal aliens in Chicago, these illegal migrants in LA, New York, Colorado, all over America, those funds would have seriously helped out those people in Asheville, North Carolina. And they didn't allocate those funds. They allocate the funds to every other group besides American citizens, and especially foundational Black Americans. What I see is a blatant, willful effort to keep us from getting resources. But I want to say salute to you. I don't want to be too long-winded, but I want to say salute to you, Afro Elite. I'm 38 years old, right? So I'm what you would consider an older millennial. I am extremely proud of you, brothers, man. I am exceptionally proud of you, man. You, brothers like Red Supreme, brothers like Big E, brothers like Street Media, brothers like Jason Black, Black Authority. I mean, from the largest to the smallest. I literally watch you guys, Black men, foundational Black American men, build your platforms and grow your platforms speaking truth. You know what I mean? And you guys speak from a perspective that you're not going to get on CNN or MSNBC. If you are a Black man, I got to say this on your show while I'm on the show right now. If you are a Black man, I highly recommend that you unsubscribe from MSNBC or CNN. If you watch those programs, you need to watch them from a military standpoint, as far as trying to study your opposition and figure out what their agenda is. You don't take it for what it is. You know what I mean? Just like how you broke down that whole dialogue, Afro Elite on MSNBC. We understand that the fix is in. We know the play. We've been watching it. We watched Tiffany Cross disrespect foundational Black American men by saying that we need to get in line with our women, as if we're some kind of uniquely matriarchal people. You know what I mean? And that's just not the case. You know, we've been through a lot as an ethnic group, as a group of people, and we're trying to, rewire and realign things and get things in line. And I think we're on the right track, man. Like, what I saw in Barack Obama was desperation. Mm-hmm. And he looked like someone pulled him out of his bed. Like, he didn't even want to come out there. Like, oh God, let me go talk to these niggas. That's how he looked. Like, oh God, let me go talk to these Negroes. He doesn't identify with us. He popped up out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And they tried to, say he was from Chicago when he's not from Chicago. We're at a point, y'all, with no more weirdo stuff, no more tethered stuff. You know what I mean? If someone's not a solid foundational Black American, and I don't think we need to really galvanize and get behind those people and support them like that, unless we know for sure that they have legislation or tangible benefits for us. Because to be honest, we have to question our own at this point. You know what I mean? Now, I'm glad that we made this discovery recently, in recent years, and we realized that a lot of people that act like us are tethers, cosplaying us, mm-hmm. and saying things that are not in our best interest. You know what I mean? They come among us, they cosplay, and they do a lot of damage. But we made progress in that area. You know what I mean? I'm very proud of that as well. But we also need to question some of our own people as well. Like, I said it on Red Supreme show the other day. Ain't no coon like an FBA coon. I mean, because the FBA coon really knows how to navigate this landscape, and most of us are not coons. That's not what we do. That's not the FBA way. You know what I mean? You know what mm-hmm. we do. We've always been rebellious. We've always been riders. We've always been, the face of the diaspora, regardless of how the rest of the diaspora feels it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But
true.
We need to. I feel like we've been cleaning house. We've done well as far as exposing a lot of tethers. And today, what I'm really happy for, Afro Elite, is that Barack Obama has been identified as the king tether. I like that I'm seeing, especially among my demographic, millennials, there's a different mentality that we have towards Barack Obama that's a lot different from the mentality that our parents and our parents and our grandparents have towards these Democrat operatives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They see a Black face, they don't question it too much, and they're just proud to have that representation. But our generation, what I love about us is that we're actually really vetting these people before we just jump on board and provide them with our support. I'm glad that we finally turned this corner, man. I'm extremely happy. I know I'm rambling on, but I'm extremely proud of you, brother. I'm proud of you. I mean that wholeheartedly. What you brothers are doing, you're offsetting all of the bullshit, pardon me, all of the BS that we see on these mainstream news networks. Mainstream media has never been in the favor of foundational Black American men. And I'm gonna leave you with this, right? The first movie that was played in the White House was a movie called Birth of a Nation. If you know about that movie was intended to do the same thing that the media is intending to do today. That movie was intended to make Black men out to be predators, sexual deviants. And you know who the heroes in that movie were? The KKK.
Mm-hmm.
You all know the KKK, right? The KKK, they refer to themselves as the invisible empire. These are your prosecutors. These are some of your congressmen. These are some of your judges. These are police officers. They live among us, just like in Blade. How the vampires kind of had like their secret society, and they had their familiars. You know what I mean? That still exists, and this is a tactic that has always been used. Now, look, we got the P. Diddy thing, right? I mean, they're looping that story like they never looped any other story. So you know what they're going to do to try to position that situation, right? And that happened in a Democratic state, by the way, with those Democratic laws where a woman can pop up out of the blue 10 years ago and say that you SA'd her without any real tangible proof. And because of those Democratic laws, you may have a situation on your hands. But they're going to try to make Diddy an example of like black male, bad black male, make him a representation of like black male sexual deviancy. This is why they didn't talk about Epstein this much. They didn't talk about Weinstein this much. I want you brothers to see the play. Now here comes Obama wagging his finger, using those same words, misogyny, or you guys just aren't really feeling a woman. Mm-hmm. And I want you to touch on this, Afro Elite. Do you notice that they'll do anything to try to go around talking about our actual gripes as Black men? I watch you talk about it. I watch Red Supreme talk about it. I watch Jason Black talk about it. Tariq Nasheed and a whole gang of YouTubers talk about the immigration problem, the disrespect that comes from the Democratic Party, from people like Simone Sanders. People like Simone Sanders telling Black men to be quiet with their unsolicited opinions. I don't know who this linebacker is. Who this linebacker thought she was talking to. But
I'm gonna say this.
That's very disrespectful.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna have to get to some other callers, but the point that you just brought up. Remember, I don't know if you saw the part I played in the live stream where when Nina Turner, when she was actually going to give the reasons why Black men didn't support Harris, Abby cut her off because they keep trying to make it seem like Black men are not supporting her for no reason, and there's no legitimate reason besides sexism and misogyny. There's no legitimate reason why we shouldn't be supporting her. And then the second somebody says something, like, hold on, right? They don't want it to get out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you. Now, sorry to cut you off there, but I mean, you made a really good point. They present it to us as if that absolutely has to be the reason. There is no other reason. It has nothing to do with illegal immigration. It has nothing to do with illegal migrants killing American citizens. It has nothing to do with our tax dollars being allocated towards resources that we don't get. It has nothing to do with the disrespect that the Democratic Party has shown not only Black men, but Black people, foundational Black Americans for generations. It has nothing to do with the crime bill and all of these laws that actually created mass incarceration, brought to you by the Democrats. It has nothing to do with Joe Biden's relationship with Strom Thurmond and what's the other KKK guy, Robert Byrd. It's just the fact that Black men are just misogynists and we're womanizers and predators, and that's the narrative that they're going to push. We got to kill that. That's a part of American culture. That pushing that narrative is a part of American culture, and we're going to kill that. Millennials, Gen X, Gen Z. I'm not waiting generations for things to change. We're going to get out here and we're going to get active. Remember my name. It's Try the Truth, and you will be seeing me around. And once again, I'm proud of you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
For sure. Be easy, man.
You too. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. That's a good brother. We're gonna get to the next caller. We got a lot of callers. We're gonna get to the next caller. Caller from area code 304. You're on live. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Good evening, Afro. This is Miss Niecy, Charleston, West Virginia.
Good evening. How you feeling, sister?
I'm fine. I want to say 2024 has been the banner year for all new black media. Y'all been putting in the work, exposing the fraudsters, the, excuse my French, shit show called this election has shown to us, FBA family, we've always known what the enemy was. We are now reconciled as a people. No emotion, the facts, and we're voting couch. That's the only option. We already been through number 45's first presidency. So ain't nothing new on that front, is it?
No. We know what we already know what to expect. We know what to expect from.
Exactly. The fear mongering, the scare tactics, that shit ain't working. But you know what the real, in my opinion, what the real issue with the DNC is with black people? And I'm just going to make it frank because you know I'm straight talk. How dare these niggas disobey us? Now, am I lying?
Yep. And we got to say it like that. I love how you put it. We have to, I want us to understand this is the era of our lives where we really come into our power the way we were always supposed to. We have to be very unapologetic with letting it be known why they lost, and it was because of us. Don't be soft shoeing now. We won. Now we got to pick up our trophy and hold it over our heads and brag about it. We have to do it. It's very important that we do it. You're absolutely correct.
Well, again, I commend you, Afro, and all the new black media content creators. We as a people being the chosen people.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't new to this, but we true to this.
Oh, yeah?
B1, I'm out.
B1, sister, you have a good night. All right. Now we're going to get to caller from area code 718. What's your name? Where you're calling from?
Peace, King and Lee. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Salute to the brother. Peace to the chat. Peace to all the callers. Firstly, I guess I would just start by saying I'm new to your show. I think I came across you maybe 3 weeks ago. So I've been rocking heavily with you for 3 weeks. But instantly I I gravitated toward the way in which you deliver the truth, the way you stand on business for the culture, and of course the way you navigate the political landscape with a sense of intelligibility and awareness. And I definitely respect that. So I'm happy I stumbled across your channel. I don't even know how that happened, but I'm here and I've been rocking with you for these several weeks. Wonderful show that you had again today. So many things to divulge.
But before you go,
with what Obama said, and just in general.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Before you go, what was your name and where you're calling from, just so we can. I don't think I got that.
Oh, okay. So I go by Sugar Free Mars, and I'm calling from New York.
Okay. All right. Okay, you can continue.
Yeah.
With your point.
Okay. Yeah, definitely a lot to divulge here with the whole
to keep
Obama
it like
thing. And
a list. That's why.
Got you.
Calling from. That's it.
Yeah, New York, Brooklyn, New York. But I think it's just an absolute charade. As I sit back and I've been watching the landscape and just the conversations that have been being had across all platforms across social media, particularly of our people, what I find to be most interesting to me and that kind of pulled me into the dialogue was the amount of passion with Black media, particularly as the sister said earlier, a lot of Black media has been really catapulted into the forefront and have been really a beacon in bringing light to the aspects of the political landscape right now. I'm not sure if you've heard of Sabby Sab's channel, another beautiful sister, Brianna Joy Gray is another one. A lot of Black 10 Black You. There's so many beautiful voices with our people on the political landscape that have really been keeping me enlightened. And I'm sure all of us here can agree to that, especially on your platform for all of us here. And I really appreciate it because I can't say that I was necessarily always focused around the political theme. But for whatever reason, this cycle, I was kind of pulled in and galvanized by a lot of the topics that have been going on, particularly concerning our people. And I guess my other area of interest was that, you know, this election cycle seems to me to have crystallized a lot of the issues that have kind of gone on unspoken in the post-Obama era, I'd say up until, 2020, the previous election cycle. A lot of things have been, it just seems like Black people have been in a wave of thought, like a cloud, kind of mystified. And this particular cycle that's happening right now seems to be removing a lot of those clouds and demystifying a lot of the previous conceptions and notions that we've had about the Democratic Party, particularly. And I think it's very clarifying for a lot of people, and it's got a lot of people talking, and particularly it has a lot of people within our culture, because it's always about us first, talking and in the midst of the political landscape and making intelligent decisions for themselves, which is absolutely paramount. It has always been, but I think for us millennials, and even the younger generation or whoever, at this particular point, I think I find it most interesting that what we see here with some of the comments that Obama made, with this mystification surrounding Kamala's Blackness and the whole charade of her basically Rachel Dolezal 2.0 type of situation. All of these types of things, as absurd as they really are bringing in a necessary avenue of conversation for our people. And I'm happy that even though I'm kind of dismayed and disheartened by the antics and the way that Black people are being blatantly disrespected politically, I think that sometimes things can be blessings in disguises, and they could really shake you into awareness. And I think that's what's happening right now, that some of these things are so foolish and so outlandish that it's got people going that may have walked away from something like this, let's say in 2008 when Obama was president, but that are now today looking at it like, what the hell is going on here? I don't approve of that, and I will not support that. And I think that type of dialogue is necessary for us right now. And I guess I'll stop it there. I definitely want to salute you for being among the young Black voices, speaking on these things and making sure that, you are looking around you to the groups that, consist of me and all the brothers and sisters here today and saying, look, y'all see this too, right? All right, let's talk about this and let's see what's going to be done about it, which is absolutely important. So salute to you, young king.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate that. And you do make a good point. This is a hard time, but we're making the best of it. And like you said, it can be a blessing in disguise, because this is the conversations that we've been needing to have for generations, to be very honest. And we've kind of
absolutely
like a reality check that forces us to have these conversations. So even though we're in a bad position now, because we're in this position and we're forced to recognize it and solve it, we're going to be in a better position in the near future.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely.
Well, I want to thank you for giving us a call and for your patience as well too, and for your support and subscription. I know you're a newer subscriber and a newer watcher, so I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, definitely. I'm rocking with you, 10 Toes King. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. You have a good night.
You too.
All right, that's our good sister from New York. Caller from area code. And I appreciate the patience of all of your all of the callers. I'm gonna be getting all your calls, so you guys know. Caller from area code 615. You're on live. What's your name? Where you're calling from?
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Yes, this is Angelica Elena calling from Nashville, Tennessee. How are you?
I'm good. That's a good sister, Angelica Lena. I'm good. How you doing, sister?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I just want to say one quick thing about that last video that you showed with the young lady speaking about, well, your ancestors died. My ancestors died for me to live with freedom and dignity.
Mm-hmm.
That's why my ancestors died, not to vote blue no matter who. So that's really all I wanted to say. Black first.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And you're 100% correct. Our ancestors died essentially so we can have a better life. They understood that what we were dealing with was wrong and that we need to have a better life. And so that's what our ancestors fought for. That's what they made their sacrifices for. They didn't make their sacrifice just so we can have a ballot box to help somebody else out. So to be honest, I would submit it's in vain. It's literally we're wasting our vote and their sacrifice if we don't use it to better our community. That's how I see it.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And I think it's just the disrespect of someone telling us what our ancestors had to suffer and go through on our behalf. And then, like you said, to tell us that, oh, it's not just your ancestors died for you to vote. It's for you to vote the way we tell you to vote.
Mm-hmm.
My ancestors didn't die for me to be on the plantation with them. You know, that's basically what you're telling me to do is just like, no, get back on this plantation. No, your ancestors, they went through what they went through to get off the plantation and for their descendants to be off the plantation. But you're telling me my ancestors died for me to get back on there.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. That's true. And you're absolutely right. I appreciate your call and your support. You're very active in the chat room, and that's always appreciated.
Thank you so much. And now leave it there. Black first.
Black first, sister. And you have a good night.
You too. Good night.
Where's the thing? Oh, okay. It's up here. All right. And now we're going to get to the next caller from area code. And I appreciate, like I said, again, your patience. I will get to all of the callers. We got a few more on the in the queue. Caller from area code 267. You're on live. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, how you doing, Afro Elite? This is Curtis from Philadelphia.
I'm good, brother Curtis. How you doing?
All right, man. Yeah, I just want to say, man, that Kamala Harris, she was never winning from the beginning. All they doing is just propaganda, just picking up because she had the machine behind her though. But she was never winning, man. I believe Trump. Even though I never voted in a day of my life because I stopped believing in America years ago, brothers. Years because I'm 64 years, so I just don't believe in people, like I used to, especially America and what's going on though. But I want to say, man, I thank you, man, for standing, what is righteous and true, man. Just keep, speaking the truth, man. Don't let nothing, deter, y'all, man. Cause I watch, Tyreek, I watch, Black Alpha, I watch all y'all, man, and we need some fresh blood, man. I just thank you, man. And God bless you. Matter of fact, my pastor was in the city today, man. His name is Pastor Gino Jennings. So if you ever get a chance, stop at the church, man. Okay. God bless you, brother. Okay.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate your call and your support. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. You have a good one. All right. That's a good brother, Curtis. And like I said, Like I said, I don't think at all. I don't think at all she was ever getting that support. I think that was propaganda to get people to be all like, she's winning. You might as well jump on the bandwagon. She's already winning. It's already done. I said from day one, she don't got no black support like that. I said Biden didn't have it, and neither does she. Caller from area code 647. You're on live. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm from Toronto, Canada. My name is Casey.
Okay. Casey from Toronto. What's on your mind?
Yeah. Well, just like the caller from before, I stumbled upon her channel about 3 weeks ago as well, and appreciate your delivery. I've come across some black media lately, and I don't know, I'm getting this phenomenon where I have to brace myself and hear their politics about everything before I'm like, oh, keep this battle going on. Because I don't know, there's people who recognize the issues, yes, and I try to support them as best I can, but then it's like they're kind of brainwashed and backwards about a few others. And I'm just like, well, you can't really be advocating for, fair treatment of everything if you're not applying that consistently to everything. So I just want to get a few things out of the way here because I've been thinking about that you've been going. And so, do you mind for like 2 seconds?
Okay, yeah, I appreciate your patience. I can wait a couple seconds.
All right, cool. So the first guy you spoke to about the grifters and the supporters. The supporters you have to kind of put into the shills, the gatekeepers, and just the media. The media is all going to lie to you. You have to always practice critical thinking and get some media literacy, everyone. He also talked about doing a write-in on his early voting ballot. I don't know too much about that, but Sabby Sabs, like a friend mentioned, he is actually going through all the ballot initiatives for her state, and which is amazing because the language is messed up. Even for educated or uneducated, they weaponize language always to confuse you and make you not and vote out of your interest. So just follow that so that you know what you are voting for. I wouldn't say vote for the couch. I think the worst thing that we could do is nothing. Evil is born when good men do nothing, and that kind of ties into my other thing here about white people and how there's a lot of white people who did nothing while black people were being lynched. Or black people were being enslaved or whatever. So I just think that doing nothing isn't the choice.
Let me clear something out. When we say vote for the couch, we don't mean nothing. Voting for the couch is actually not nothing. Voting for the couch is actually a vote. There are people who actually are, like the Libertarian was saying, actually writing in the word couch in the ballot. But essentially what that means is that recognize the whole principle of voting for the couch is recognizing the value of your vote. And if a candidate does not meet your value, your price, you don't give it away for free. You withhold your vote until until a candidate meets that. You don't lower the price just so you can make the sale. That's what the whole idea of voting for the couch is. And that also sends a message as well too. So voting for the couch, that's a pretty effective strategy. A lot of people kind of, because it's newer, a lot of people are kind of like afraid of it, to be honest, but that's very effective.
I understand. And yes, that makes sense. You always have to be willing to bend and move and understand where people are coming from. So I see the power within that. However, I want to mention that Jill Stein and the Green Party, and I don't know if you saw their Breakfast Club interview, but that was one of the things they've done. I think all of these attacks against the parties is just kind of their way to preemptively blame everybody but themselves for losing. Sabby did this one thing here about the Muslim voters back in 2020, and I almost
Casey, brother, your mic is I don't know if you're moving jumping around or if you got a Bluetooth or headphones or anything like that, but the audience is picking it up and I'm
Nope.
picking it up too. So, we got
How is it better now?
Yeah, I think it's better.
Okay, do your thing. Love you all. Just make sure that you know follow Savvy Zeb, Brianna Joy Gray, The Gray Zone, Keep Alert, and Black First.
Black First. Thank you. Thank you for your call.
Appreciate you.
Okay. We're international, brothers and sisters. We got callers from different nations. We got callers from across the country, other countries. Caller from area code 773. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Kevin. I'm calling from Chicago, Illinois.
Kevin from Chicago. I know with the 773. I knew you was calling from Chicago. Kevin, brother, what's on your mind?
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for what you're doing because it's not easy to get on here and put up these casts and stuff every day. But thank you for getting the word out. All I can really say is that I'll be glad when all this is over, the Forza election and everything and all the lies that's being told prior to it. But even when it's over, it won't be over because let's say if Trump wins, I feel like he's going to get assassinated. And I tuned in to the show, the podcast a little bit late, but I saw at least 3 or 4 news flashes that is a possible third attempt that was made today at a rally. But
yeah, I saw something like that earlier.
Even if it, yeah, and then if Kamala wins, I just feel like they're going to cheat like they did in 2020, and if something else should happen outside of the elections, I believe that some type of event will probably take place that will, just cause a lot of chaos. That's my thing. I just feel like something could happen before the election. And that's just my thing. But another thing I want to bring up is that a lot of our people don't realize, especially of certain generations, that when you look back at some of these old documentaries about the civil rights movement and all that, and you see the violence that took place with the marches and the hosing down with the fire trucks and German shepherds biting on people, most of those cities and states were Democratic cities and states, ran by Democratic governors and mayors, including right here in Chicago. And there's a lot of people that's still around, that was around when Martin Luther King got killed. And even our Democratic mayor, Mayor Daley Sr., gave the order to the police on national TV, shoot to kill all looters. Okay? A lot of people remember that. But there's a lot of people that don't know, and even in today's Democratic Party, they don't want you to know that those elected officials who supported Jim Crow and segregation, they were all Democrats. Okay?
Yeah, and I think
Martin Luther King's daughter,
because we're starting to really wake up to the evil of the Democrats,
Yeah, I mean, with the Democratic Party, they talk about our ancestors. Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. So most people that could vote that came from out of slavery, the first party they voted for was the Republicans.
Yeah,
we just don't get it. And then the Democratic Party also gave birth to Confederate states. The Democratic Party also gave birth to the Ku Klux Klan. And, that's just some things we should know. But yet, things flipped over, back in the 70s when Nixon ran, and that's when everybody kind of switched over, especially after the Kennedys was in office. But as I was getting ready to say, an interesting fact that I think everybody should know, and I challenge everybody to look it up, Martin Luther King was a registered Republican voter. His daughter has his original voter registration card They did have it up on Google. They might have wiped it off by now, but it shows that Martin Luther King Jr. was a registered Republican, and he worked with the Kennedys to try to get the Civil Rights Act passed, before Kennedy was took out. But I got a feeling that, just something might just happen. There was a lot of voter fraud that took place in 2020. And I think a whole lot more is going to happen in this election as far as rigging the machines. They already did it when they had to, I don't know if it's called the primaries or whatever, where a lot of people were coming in Chicago to vote Republican, and they were saying that they ran out of ballots, the machines wasn't working. It's going to be a whole lot going on with this election that comes up. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah. And that's true. We have to be prepared, not just for any anti-Black agenda coming from the Democratic Party. We're waking up to that, but we also have to be prepared for the Republican Party, because to be honest, they're both, you might have one that does one thing and another one that does another thing, but we have to have a third person point of view when it comes to both of the parties and understand that none of these parties are for us, and actually both of the parties are against us. But we just play our cards strategically. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Dr. King was doing. He was strategically playing his card. In my opinion, personally, I think all Black people should be independent. If you are going to vote, if you believe in that or not, I think it's completely independent. I don't think any Black person should be obligated to any party, in my opinion.
No, there never was an obligation to any party. It's not. It's not a law that says that once you vote blue, that's what you got to be for your rest of your life. But I understand what you're saying. You go for whoever is going to provide the best for you in terms of what their policy is all about.
Yep.
That's what you got to look at. You got people out here in the hood, in the community. They see these high gas prices. They see rents and mortgages going up. They see the migrants is getting $10,000 on their link cards. They see it and they know it, and they still deny it and say, "I'm voting for Kamala." How can you see something with your own eyes, know that it's messed up for you, and then just get a mind block to vote for the same people that put all this stuff in place? I'm just saying. But I ain't going to take up your time. I just want to put that 2 cents in with that.
That's true. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, he's absolutely right.
All right. Have a good one, and thank you for all you do. All right.
Thank you, brother. Some of our people, they don't get it. They don't get it yet. Some of our people don't get it yet. We're gonna take this last caller, and then we're gonna wrap up the call. So, caller from area code 314, you're on live. What is your name? Where you're calling from? Caller from area code 314, you're on live. What is your name and where you're calling from?
Hello, my name is Carol from St. Louis, Missouri.
Sister Tara, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm one of those listeners that people say the 50 plus people that they think that are in Kamala's corner. That's not true. I'm listening, I'm hearing, and I'm here to support my Black family and Black people because I have a legacy that I want to pass on as well. And I'm concerned because of the Barack Obama and Michelle Obama speeches concerning she's able to leave legacy to her children, $10 million. But she's telling us that there's no money for us to leave our legacy, that we don't have a legacy. And I'm really bothered and concerned about that.
Yeah, and you know what, that makes a good point. Because the people who are setting us up, the people who these are the same people who are putting policies in place, putting the migrants in a position, empowering our buffer classes, our opposition and our enemy, allowing the police to do whatever they want to. Their children are going to be fine. Their children get to go around, party it up, make a bunch. Look, for instance, I'm gonna give a perfect example. Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden is a druggie, okay, committing a whole bunch of crimes and everything. And because of his father being Joe Biden, he's been allowed to get away with all of that stuff. While Joe Biden was out there stomping up and down in Congress, trying his hardest to push his crime bills, which he successfully did, push his crime bills, locking up, setting the precedent for the mass incarceration, setting the precedent for that, for the same actions that his son was able to do without any type of legal repercussions. So you make a great point with that.
And I also wanted to say, we know this is a battle. This is a spiritual battle and a battle like no other for Black people. And I wouldn't want no more than a man like you that we need as a leader to lead us, because I cannot be led by no woman. I'm a woman, and women can't do everything regardless of what people say. We are supposed to be the supporters, and that's where I am. I'm supporting you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Black first.
Black first, sister. Thank you. And this is another thing too. I want to make sure that as the men, we step up as far as our leadership and our leadership capabilities, and we set the right example. We set the right precedent. So we might as well get this other caller, this last caller. Caller from area code 267. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
you're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Afro, at least this is Curtis again. I just want to, say real quick, that brother that spoke about, because a reason that they never voted because, I was kind of young, even though when Martin Luther King had got shot and Kennedy and everything, but it seems like that the powers that be, they can put in office who they wanted to put in office. So because I'm a free thinker, I just can't vote for abortion because I believe in, thou shalt not kill. I believe in that wholehearted. You understand? And I just can't believe in certain things that politicians trying to pull. I just don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in same-sex marriage. I don't believe in none of it. I believe a man should be a man and a woman should be a woman. That's the way I was raised, my father and mother. You understand? I'm an FBA, you understand? And I feel those that people that come from other countries, they cannot feel our pain. I can remember when I was 15, 16, 17 years old, my boy, and I can remember a white cop come putting a gun through my head and call me a nigger, excuse my French, and it was a black cop right there, and he ain't said nothing. So the people that's in office and powers that come from other countries, they cannot feel our pain. Barack Obama, he's a foreigner. Kamala Harris, she's a foreigner. They cannot feel our pain, what we went through. They cannot. So I can't sit there and vote for somebody that family that never shed blood for us, man. Kamala Harris, her family never shed blood for us. Barack Obama, his family never shed blood for us, man. You understand? And the only way I give Donald Trump respect because I don't know if you know Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson fought in the early 20s. The bare knuckles. And make a long story short, I remember the Johnson family had came to Barack Obama to sign the petition because he was soliciting. Jack Johnson was bringing white girls over to different states and he was marrying her. And Barack Obama said no. But when Donald Trump got into the presidency, he was the president, the Johnson family came to Donald Trump asking, they signed a petition for soliciting and bring white girls from the state, and Donald Trump had signed it. And I remember because it was our champion, Dante Wilder, it was Lennox Lewis, and it was Sylvester Stallone. I'll never forget that. That's the only reason I respect Donald Trump. But otherwise, brother, I don't believe in these politicians because they lie. And I like when CNN was owned by Ted Turner. You know what I'm saying? So I land my plane there, brother. And like I said, keep up the good work again, man. Okay?
Thank you, brother.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I appreciate your patience. And you're absolutely right, man. We as far as these politicians are concerned, this is real bad. But we're not. I want us to understand something. Just because we say it's real bad or whatever the case is, does not necessarily mean, it doesn't at all, that we're losing. I want you guys to understand that we are winning. We're winning this. We are winning. No matter what people tell you. No matter, it is going to get hard. And I want you guys to understand, no matter who wins, whether it's Harris, whether it's Trump, we still going to have some hard times. We still going to have some hard times. This is not the end of the battle at all. We're going to have hard times coming up. And that's just going to be an inevitable reality of the situation. No matter who wins, it could be a third party person. Okay. We're going to have some hard times, but we are going to get through it. And we are setting up the precedent for our strength and our power so we can get through harder times easier. The reason why times have been so hard is because not that we were powerless people. It is because of the fact that we didn't understand that and we didn't understand what to do. It's not because we didn't have the cure. We just didn't know we had the cure. It's not that we didn't know or we didn't have the strength to fight back. We just didn't know how to fight back. We didn't know who we needed to fight alongside, like the last brother was just discussing. You have people who are coming over here, foreigners who are coming over here. And let me not say that all black foreigners are bad, but the Obama damn sure is. Kamala damn sure is. All right. You have them coming over and then they get into politics, and then you can see their disposition and their disdain for foundational black Americans in this country. You see that. All right. And we used to think, well, everybody whose skin is dark like me, they should be on my side and we should team up. We used to have a thing where we would think that every person who was non-white, I want you to understand how far we came. Everybody who was non-white, that's Hispanics, that's Asians, that's the Arab Americans or Arab community, all of these other people, the Native Americans, everybody. We believed that all of them, and especially anybody from the diaspora, all of them, we all had this understanding that, okay, we're all in the system. We're all oppressed. None of us are treated as good as the white folk are. So we all should team up because there's strength in numbers. Now, logically speaking, there is strength in numbers. And you logically think, okay, if my enemy is this guy and your enemy is this guy, and there's strength in us teaming up, we should band together and team up so we can overcome this oppressive system. That's logic. That's what you would think. But that's just not how it works, because they don't see it as they're that bad guy. Or at least they don't see, they don't have the spirit or the sense to defeat him. They'd be all like, you know what? He's oppressive, but a number 2 spot, I'm cool with that. That's not how we think culturally. We don't think of a number 2 spot. We don't think of a buffer class. Culturally speaking, as foundational black Americans, we wouldn't even be comfortable being a buffer class to anybody. We wouldn't be comfortable being a buffer class above another marginalized group of people. We wouldn't even be thinking about that. So that's why we haven't until very recently understood that this is how all these other demographics have been thinking. All these other marginalized communities have been thinking. We haven't been thinking that. So we have had a cultural evolution. And this is something that we're showing politically, because I want you to understand as well, the cultural evolution, that's not just the politics. That's as far as how we see ourselves internally on our day-to-day life, how we operate on our day-to-day life, who we are around, what we spend our time doing, who we spend our time with, politically and socially. Everything you do is politics to a degree. It's all politics, the politics of life. So culturally, our politics of life has evolved. We've had a cultural evolution, and this is a very good and empowering thing. So we are winning. We're definitely winning. And it's shown by the way Obama is responding. It's shown by the way Harris is responding. I want you to understand, next week she's going to go on the Breakfast Club. She wouldn't need to go on the Breakfast Club if she was not doing bad. Her going on the Breakfast Club is essentially them saying, hey guys, break glass in case of emergency. We need help. SOS, SOS, Charlemagne, SOS. I want you to understand that, because let's say she was running 10 years ago. If she was running, I'm not even going to say 10 years, even if she was running a good 5 years ago, she wouldn't be having this difficult of a time. 5 years ago, she would not be having this difficult of a time. She's having a very difficult time, especially 10 years ago. If she was running this campaign when Obama was running in 2008 and 2012, it wouldn't be a chance in hell for anybody. It wouldn't be a chance in hell for Biden. It wouldn't be a chance in hell for Trump. It wouldn't be a chance in hell for nobody. But now you see she's starting to lose in the swing states. She's starting to lose in the polls and everything. She has to go around. Obama's doing damage control for her. Oprah's doing damage control for her. Magic Johnson's doing damage control for her. You see all of these people doing damage control and trying to help to the best of the ability that they can, because she is losing. And she's losing because we are saying no. Okay? And actually, I want that to be a thing. We are saying no, and I want us to have pride when we say it. If regardless, the fact that we don't know if she's going to lose. We don't know that. We don't know the future. It's looking like it as of today. It is looking like it as of today. And if she lose, I want it to be stamped in history that she lost because we said no. Right now, they all understand that us saying no is why they are behind in the polls. Otherwise, Obama wouldn't be singling us out. If we were saying yes to the numbers that they need us to, he wouldn't even have anything to say to us. But he has something to say to us because he knows we are saying no. And I don't want any shaming tactic, no gaslighting, no talk of, yo, you must not like your mama, you must hate black. No, we not even listening to that, because it's not just black men. Is black men and black women. I want you to understand this, and let me send this message out to Obama, Harris, Waltz, Biden, the Democratic Party, all of you all. The community, the culture has rejected you. That is it. It is not about sexism. It's not about misogyny. It is about our culture has rejected you. You are rejected. We have said no to you. And I want you to understand, this is not just going to be said one single time when you lose. When you lose, we will send you constant reminders that you lost because we said no. We will never. I'm going to let you know right now. Personally, we will never let it be forgotten that you lost because of us. We will never let that be forgotten. And I will have pride. I will walk with my chest puffed out like I'm wearing a crown on my head. I will have pride in saying you lost because I said no. I will have pride in that. There's not a single shaming tactic that's going to work this time. Not this time, no. Shout out to our good brother, Tom Slick. It said, speak elite, thank you very much. Oh, definitely. It will be because we said no together. And then we have SP, okay. Phil Effect Checker says, we can change the game, FBA. And we definitely will change the game. We definitely will. That's what we're doing now. And I want to say this, as far as the hashtag is concerned, we're going to say this. No more shaming. No more. Oh, no. The shaming is done. And I want you to understand the disrespect, because it's not like he came to us on some, well, maybe you guys are undereducated. Maybe you guys are ill-informed. Maybe you guys are listening to conspiracies. Let me sit down and discuss with you all why you guys disagree with Harris and all. He didn't do that. He sat there with his arms crossed. He sat there with his arms crossed like we're trying to sneak in the house past our curfew time. He had his arms folded the whole time, like he told us to clean our room, and then came back an hour later and there's still toys on the floor and we're children playing with them. He said, I don't like it. I don't like it. He said it's unacceptable. We're going to let him know what's unacceptable. He is unacceptable. Harris is unacceptable. Biden is unacceptable. And everybody in that whole stupid racist ass party is unacceptable. And you're going to see that. We're going to let it be known. We're going to stop it. Okay? We're going to stop it. We're going to put a stamp it. That's what I meant. We're going to stamp it. Okay? We're going to stamp it, and we're going to send you reminders on a regular basis. So next time around, y'all going to get your act together. Y'all slow learners, but you going to learn. You going to learn because you're not going to have no choice. You going to learn. So, brothers and sisters, it's Sunday. We've been on for close to 3 hours. I appreciate every single last one of you all. But we had to get this done. So thank you all so very much. I appreciate you guys with the bottom of my heart. Thank you all for all of the callers, all of the new subscribers. I will see you guys. We're going to be continuing our schedule next week. So thank you guys for being here. And with that being said, B1 salute to every single last one of you all. Of course, you all have a good one.